I think human nature took over with him.
Yeah.
People say they heard him brake. I didn't. I don't think he did. I think human nature took over. He hit it and was like, nah, it's huge. I'm not braking. And just compresses at the bottom and doesn't really like get up from his compression, you know? And it's just compressed still in the takeoff because it's like down kink, flat, and then up. And I think, yeah, and just gets ejected.
All right, folks, welcome to the episode. If you're here for the BK episode, then hold tight. It's coming up very soon. Apparently, it's a banger, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a banger. It is a banger, yeah.
Even if
It's a shame
say
you
so
couldn't be
yourself.
there. I always miss you when you're not there, dude.
Yeah, I know. I miss me when I'm not there as well. But
Yeah, I bet you do.
you smash it when I'm not here. So they keep doing
It's
it.
never quite. It's always a bit out of control, I feel like.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I like it because I'm actually excited to listen and watch.
Yeah, that is quite cool, yeah.
It's cool. Like
yeah.
the Billy Bolt one, I was like stoked. I was like, couldn't wait just to listen back to it. and
Yeah,
watch it.
wicked.
It was fun. So yeah, hyped. So if you're here for the BK episode, it's probably going to be about, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, what do you reckon? What do you reckon how long does it take to catch up these days?
Last couple of hours and then...
Yeah, we've already spoke about everything. There is to speak about.
Yeah. But hey, first,
Go on.
if you're new to the show, help the boys out. Hit a like, hit a little comment, especially if you're watching. Like when you're watching, just be like, oh, that's cool, and boom, boom, boom. Hit the comment section. The comment section are where it's at, and it helps the algorithm, and it also helps just keep the vibes high, I reckon, on every episode.
Absolutely. Think of the comments section as like, it's that bar that you go into and the music's right.
Yeah.
All of the people in there, they're your people.
Yeah, that's exactly
know?
what the comment section is.
Every bit of conversation you have is interesting. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's what the comment section's like.
Exactly. So yeah, please do that.
Yeah.
And if you're listening on an audio platform, why not leave a little review? You can slide over the stars up to 5, and it just makes everyone feel better about themselves, you know?
Do you know, it's really hard to not sound desperate as a grown-up asking
I'll
people for likes and comments, isn't it? I've not really navigated how you do it in a nice way.
Hey, one of my favourite podcasts do a great job of it, so we're trying to replicate that a little bit.
What do they do?
They
Who
just
is it?
ask. Like, it's good to ask sometimes.
You're right. There's
'Cause
no reason not to.
Sometimes it's kind of like strange when you see a view count and you just see the likes and you're like, oh, just throw a like on. I've started doing it more because I was really bad for it.
Yeah, I do.
There's a lot of episodes that I've watched online, a lot of podcasts I've listened to over the years, never leave a comment, never do anything. I'm going to try to be a bit more vocal and say, well done.
I'm going to do a bit to camera, right?
Go on then.
Okay. When you leave a like or a comment, it's literally like you're giving us a tip. A little something to send us on our day, puts a spring in my step. Is that right?
Yeah, true.
That's right. So leave a like, leave a comment. I'm not desperate.
There is also a tip button on YouTube.
Oh, there is. No, don't do.
Hey.
Oh, there is a tip button. Oh, now it literally, that could be, now it looks like I'm begging for tips.
Anyway.
If there was ever a way of looking desperate. I did that bit right down the barrel. I don't usually do that, actually. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you ever do anything down the barrel? Do something down the barrel now. This is boring to audio listeners.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, let's
It
carry
is.
on. Let's
Okay.
carry on. Okay.
I love you.
Oh, that was nice, man. That was nice with the Ken
Wow.
Burns zoom in. Yes, Doug. You know.
Oh, man. So, yeah, BK episode's coming up.
It is indeed. It's
Quick
good to
catch
sit
up there,
down
man.
with him.
Quick catch up. We got, what's going on?
Trump got shot at.
Trump got shot.
First thing in my
Shouldn't
notes.
laugh.
Trump got shot at. Yeah, no, it's not funny. There was an attempt made on his life. How insane is that? That's the potential next leader of the free world. The previous leader of the free world got shot at.
Got shot at.
Assassinations.
I know.
mean,
It's crazy, isn't it? It's a different world out there these days. You know, I think, it looks legit just for the comment section and stuff and for the conversation.
Yeah.
Initial thing, you're like conspiracy theory. That's what I do.
Oh, you? I'm not.
I know you
Someone's
hate it.
shot
and
at it.
It makes great conversation whenever we chat, but like straight away, and then.
So what is it about it that? Did you think it straight away when you saw it? Then you thought that he's trying to.
No, but I did see that what will now probably become an iconic photo with the flag,
mate.
the blood, and the fist, and you just go, "Hey, if you want to
Looks
try
like
and
a campaign, yeah.
if you want to try and be the guy, then and that's so close to that. What's that really famous? It's not that close, but it's got a flag in it and it's people, but it's like the Hiroshima. Not Hiroshima. The flag on the hill. That really. Iwo Jima. It's
There you
just
go.
kind of got that vibe to it, and you just like,
Yeah.
that's an iconic. That'll be used as a meme and as a t-shirt and as a whatever for eternity.
He got clipped in the ear.
Yeah,
it's
it looks
crazy.
like it, huh?
But people died. Was there numerous people? This is literally
Yeah.
like really, really new news. So
It is really new.
we're probably messing it up. But people
Yeah,
were killed.
I believe so.
I
There's a
think
couple,
it's
wasn't
so
there?
sad when you actually take it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's like the kid that did it. He's not had fun.
No.
He's having a bad time.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
had
yeah.
a bad time.
Yeah. It's very desperate.
Now he's
You got-
dead.
yeah,
People in the crowd, innocent bystanders, are dead. It's just, yeah, it's terrifying, isn't it? These things go on. Ugh.
it's just hard. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
Bummer of a way to start the episode. I didn't even think of it when I actually like called it out. I was just thinking of the most current thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is current.
But when you think actually about it, it's just really
Well,
glum.
politics,
and sad.
bro, innit? It's politics. Hey, I'll go with Rogan's idea of just having AI do it. Seems to be the best move at this point.
What would that look like? AI governance.
Yeah, I know. It just make hopefully like rational, thought out, well researched ideas.
Mate, we're
rather
pretty
than
YOLO,
just
aren't
shooting
we?
from the hip.
We've had Chat GPT 3 days, and now we're like just like,
Let it
oh,
do
you
the
run.
Should we press the nuclear button?
At
Ask,
the minute-
ask Chat
Oh my
GPT.
goodness, terrifying! I couldn't
We
get it
haven't got
write an
3.0.
email for me. I've never used it. But
Oh,
I've seen
really?
I see more and more people using it loads and loads.
Yeah. I put a thing out on my LinkedIn the other day and just asked people if they used it and what they used it for.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see, like, people use it for all kinds of things. Like, and we're just planning this video project with Nissan of this van build.
Yeah.
I used it for that. Like, not, it sounds like cheating, but it's more of a way of like putting your ideas into something and having it tell you what's good and what's bad about those ideas. It's not like plan me a video. That doesn't feel right. That feels like, oh, I'm just letting some machine do the whole thing.
It's still
It's
only
just-
using human thought at the minute, like previous thought. So it's still using it like
I
as
think
if
so.
the whole internet is just script
I
and
believe
it's taking
so.
from stuff that humans have already thought at the moment, right?
I believe so. I think it'll, yeah. It's kind of hard to think. Yeah, I think it does. But like, if you ask it to think, how would you put it? Like, I fed into it like my ideas for a video.
Yeah.
And basically asked it to like put together a rough timeline of what that'd look like, and it did that. I don't understand in my head because I'm an idiot guy, but like how it's done that, like where has it got all that information from? The internet, obviously,
Yeah.
but where would that? I don't know. I'm sure there's loads of things online of like timestamping episode video projects and how to make a storyboard and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure it's there, but
you ever
it's
think-
not my background.
Do you
so I
ever
don't
say
know.
something? I have this a bit. Do you ever say something and think that's probably the first time that order of words has ever been said?
Yeah.
Like Davy Wavy Liquid Death Microphone Willie. Has anyone ever said that? Did I just do a world's first?
You could have done a world's first.
I reckon that was a world's first, dude.
It's a great
It wasn't the
episode
coolest.
title.
It wasn't the
world's
first. It wasn't the coolest world's first. But has anyone ever said that? I can't even remember what it was already.
Yeah, it's true. Apparently, what is it? You have all the monkeys on the type thing.
Yeah, and they do it. They
Well, made
eventually.
Shakespeare.
Eventually.
Eventually,
We haven't
made
been around long
Shakespeare.
enough for it to. No one's ever said that yet.
No.
Microphones haven't been around long enough.
What for?
It's for the monkeys on typewriters to have said that.
Ah, okay.
I don't reckon they have. I think there's still so many. Do you ever think about music? Are we
Yeah.
ever going to just? Well, we just repeat.
I always think
repeating.
that. I always listen to song, like especially song titles, and you go, surely there must be more of them. It's hard
It's
to have
bad.
a unique one, isn't
It's
it?
bad now, isn't it? Because I always think of a track, and I'm like, oh man, I've got to put that on my latest Instagram.
Yeah.
I search for it, and I'm like, I mean, there's 40 all called the same thing. How?
How can there be this many?
Why can't they just come up with something? I just came up with world's first a minute ago, dude.
Yeah.
They just call it Davy Wavy Liquid Death
Death.
Microphone Willie.
Yeah. Then it's first.
Then
Only
then you
you.
type it in. It's going to come up. You're going to use it on your reel. No one else. Then you get all the views.
What do you think the most common song title is?
I love you. No, it'll be like I miss you.
Yeah,
Something?
like that. Most common.
Can we
song
look? Can we
title.
look that up? Is there a way of looking that up?
Most common song
Using
title.
AI. The most common song title. I'm really intrigued now. What do you think it is?
Every day.
Every day. I think it's like I still miss you.
I still miss you. It's sad. What is it? Hold on. Oh, straight away I think of a song as well. Alabama Shakes. Hold on. Banger. Think of another one.
Hold on. By
I can only think of one.
I can't think of them.
Yeah.
A song called Hold On.
Yeah, I can only think of one. Alabama Shakes. That's
Alabama
banger
Shakes?
too, yeah.
I feel like there's one on the tip of my tongue. What's in number 2 of the most popular songs? Looking. There you go.
Looking at you.
Looking
through
good.
the glass.
I think that band names are always like that, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
quite. I bet there's the. It's most likely that what I said before is a band name rather than someone said it in a sentence. Davey
Davey
Wavy,
Wavy.
Liquid Death, Microphone Willie is probably a band name.
It could be. And if it's not, it is now.
It is now.
Hey, first album coming out real soon.
Absolutely.
Towards the end of the year.
By Soundwarper.
By Soundwarper. Oh dear. So you just been at Goodwood as well?
I have indeed.
Moving on from the Trump thing, right?
I think we're moving on from the Trump thing. I mean, I
Covered that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. It's really, really.
What was your first impression?
My first impression
When you saw it?
someone
like your first
messaged me about
feelings?
it, and I couldn't believe it. I think I just feel sad.
Yeah.
I don't personally automatically think it's a conspiracy. I just think the answer's normally boring,
Yeah.
and the boring answer is not like the exciting answer is very rare in everything in life. I find the exciting one's like it's like make believe, like the. I also think with those conspiracies, I think it's like, imagine how much is to lose if it was manufactured. Or
Yeah,
if
I
it
love
was,
that you said this the other day on the phone. Yesterday, I think it was.
like, to me, there's so much to lose. That would be
Yeah.
the whole, that would be the credibility of the free world gone if it was, you know what I mean? If there was like a JFK incident these
But they had
days.
one. It's a bit easier to cover up back then, I feel like.
How do
The
you mean they
internet
had one?
and-
What do you mean?
Well, the JFK thing is, there's a lot of questions still around.
Only questions though.
Questions, yeah. But there's still no answer, I don't think.
I don't know. I actually have never gone down the rabbit hole on that one.
What I've been listening to on the way down, we could go down a rabbit holes here, couldn't we? But there's a newish book called Chaos,
Oh yeah.
which is the book about the Manson murders.
Oh right.
It's fascinating. I've listened to 3 chapters on the way down here. First 3. But the Manson murders are all about, obviously, LSD.
There's the movie, isn't there? The movie
Is it
quite
called Hell to
recently.
Oh no, there was one called Hell to Skelter.
Once Upon a Time on Holiday. What a movie that
Oh,
was.
yeah.
And that was based
Banger.
around it, right?
I believe, yeah, loosely based around
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, you've got to listen to the book. It's fascinating. It's all about basically how it was CIA that
Yeah.
might have been allegedly. We'll do that now. Are we big enough to do allegedlys?
Yeah, definitely. We need to. We should do more allegedly. Probably, man. I mean,
Yeah, allegedly using a mark, which would be Charles Manson.
yeah,
And using him as a way of testing LSD on subjects.
yeah. I mean,
It's fascinating.
yeah. I bet. I can imagine. We are in different times though now, and I can imagine way more. You could pull way more off back then.
Yeah.
Now I think it's
I mean,
hard.
we're talking 60s, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it took them 4.5 months to find out who'd done any of the killings. I feel like now with CCTV and
Dude.
iPhones and tracking and
Do you ever
number
watch
plate
any of those
recognition,
shows?
imagine what it'd be like back then. Like, someone gets murdered and you're like, who did it? It was
Just
close.
pointing at
Like, I don't know.
Do you ever watch those crime shows, like how they do it, like CCTV 24 hours or whatever?
Nah, I haven't, because I'm really delicate
Really?
emotionally. So,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I've got a good one for you to not watch then in a
Okay,
minute.
yeah.
But anyway, the crime shows to me are mad how much they use social media. I mean, it seems obvious. It's like everyone's got a rectangle in their pocket and they're all posting stuff all the time, or like giving away clues. Even if you're just doing like a status, it might give something away.
Yeah,
it's like worth looking at.
And that private browsing, they see that.
You just got a snail trail wherever you go.
Snail trail. So funny.
Haven't you?
Yeah.
You just, wherever you go, whatever you do, and you can verify things on CCTV after the fact. So if you're like, well, if he's here at that point, he must have gone down this road or this road. Let's look at that.
Amazing.
Okay, he's got to be out in one of these cars. Like, how they do it, just the process of elimination is so, it'd be pretty hard to like hide anything, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I mean, we live pretty much It's not far off Big Brother, really, is it?
It's quite close when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Isn't it?
So I recommend that. It's going to be my watching and listening at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah, if you you can't watch it, but you could look at a screen.
Okay.
That's playing it. You know what I mean? Like audiobook. I don't do audiobooks very often, but when I do, I right like them. Like the time flew by today because you're just like engrossed in a story.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best. So yeah, I did that today. So 3 chapters in, I'm bought into the story of Chaos, the Manson murders, I think it's called. So
fascinating.
We've also got Crankworx Whistler is coming up, and it's a biggie. Obviously, the last round of the Crankworx tour.
Dude, it's Crankworx Whistler.
Crankworx, it's like the highlight of the season, obviously. Huge event, has been for multiple years. Super excited for it. It's one of my favourite events, as we all know.
Oh, absolutely.
And, of course, we'll be running fantasy again, which is cool.
Could we say it's the home of mountain biking? Is it fair to say that? Is it widely regarded? Is Whistler widely regarded as the...
Could be, couldn't it?
It could be. There'd be a good argument for it, really, I'm sure.
The home of mountain biking.
I won't be able to make it, but...
Yeah.
I mean, Whistler feels like the home of Crankworx anyway, so...
Yeah, when I think of Crankworx, I think of Whistler. I think of the backdrop. You know,
Absolutely.
I think of the slope style course.
Yeah.
And there's an Air DH as well, obviously, which we're going to be running fantasy for on the racecompanion.com. And there are some heavy hitters entered for this one.
Oh, have you got them listed?
Yeah, do you want me to go through a couple?
Please, can you?
All right,
can you?
Here's going to be my fantasy picks for the Air DH.
Okay.
Brought to you by RockShox in Canada. Okay. You could choose Richie Rude. You could choose Lucas Shaw. You could choose today's guest, Bernard Kerr. Ronan Dunn.
You mean all of these?
Aaron Gwynn.
Are you just reading off a World Cup?
No, these are actually people entered.
These are
for
all
the Air DH.
Wow.
And you've also got Jenna Hastings, Nina Hoffman, Valley Hall, Emmy Lan.
Hold your horses, people. We've got another World Cup added to the calendar, and it's happening in Whistler Crankworx. So this is incredible. So we got to get people involved on the Race Companion.
We do. Easy to do. Head over to the racecompanion.com, sign up for free, play for free.
Are you saying 3 or are you saying 3?
Is it on my list
300 or is it 3,000 or are you actually saying free?
I'm saying free.
Of charge.
No charge. Zilch, zero, nada.
Nada.
And of course you can win prizes, which is rad. We've got Max's tyres up for grabs for the winner of the slope style, and we've got some SRAM Code 9 carbon, I believe they are, brakes, which are really cool, and they are up for grabs if you win the Air DH overall.
Wow, so you can take your virtual win and make it into tangible real life objects that you can put on your bike and go riding with.
Yes, and of course it's all on Red Bull TV. Mate, just to go back again with the slope style, obviously the women are competing as well, and Emil Johansson is yet to win around this year, which I think is super exciting. I can't wait to watch that. It's going to be dope.
What's he going to bring?
Mate, what is he going to bring? The mind boggles.
It's probably going to involve a lot of opposite, though, I reckon. I reckon he's at home right now practicing a lot of opposite stuff.
Could do, yeah. Anyway, racecompanion.com. Sign up for free, play for free, create a league with your mates, win prizes, and you can watch all of it live on Red Bull TV. Probably have Warner on the commentary for the ADH, which will be badass. And tickets are still available. Crankworx.com / tickets or Whistler or Crankworx Whistler or something. Crankworx.com is probably the
Crankworx.com.
Yeah, the best place to go.
Dude, you got nothing to lose and you got everything to gain. Get amongst it.
That's nice. Nothing to lose. That's nice. We'll use that for our tag, couldn't we?
Yeah, that'd be quite nice.
So Goodwood this weekend. And then we'll get into the BK episode. No, we haven't. We haven't spoken about it. Just
so
me and you.
Yeah, so for those who are not aware, Goodwood is like it's the Festival of Speed. So it's basically, I don't really know anything about the Goodwood estate, but it's like some crazy rich person's estate.
Yeah.
This is very much what it feels like to me as well. You go you're allowed into the grounds, and then you get to see other crazy rich people. They show you their belongings. So like, that's what I think of it as. And it's really, really, it is an amazing event, and the grounds are amazing. So, I mean, we went to McLaren the other day, and we got to stand next to,
we got to.
cars
We were
that are
allowed
like-
to stand next to a £40 million car, which made no sense.
When would you ever be able to stand next to something like that? And I can tell you when. Goodwood.
Yeah.
You stand next to all these things. You see all these blokes holding beers, dribbling over the top of like...
Do they let zips in?
What's zips?
Zips on your clothes.
Yeah.
You can't get close to
I
stuff
can't
with
believe
zips.
it. I mean, I stand really far back because I'm worried my mum's going to tell me off for being too close. I still have that.
Watch that
I
zip.
still have that fear. Come away, Ollie. I'm 38. I'm still worried about mum telling me off. But other people, they literally have their toes go underneath the... they go underneath
Bit
the
of tyre
cars and they're
kicking.
just there, just dribbling. I can't believe it. I'd feel so worried that I was going to just drop. I'd probably feel
If
a
you
little bit
owned
like...
the £40 million car, I think I'd be sat in it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'd have a
Get
cattle,
away, get
I'd
away.
have a cattle fence around it. I would. I'd be electrocuting
A
folk.
sniper.
Do not bring your zips or your beers anywhere near.
No car keys, no sharp objects.
I tell you what, I
No
would
smiling.
feel that way about if I'd spent £10,000 on a car, I'd feel that way. It's why I don't spend any money on cars. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have people with their zips and their beers near my £10,000 car, let alone my 40 million quid one.
Wild.
There's some crazy cars, and there's so many one-offs, and
Yeah.
and being that close to like old Formula One engines, and inversely the brand new fan cars, like is it McNaughty?
Yeah.
I think it's called McNaughty. I probably
Is that what it's
messed
called?
that up.
McNaughton.
Probably
It's a cool name for
messed
it.
that up. The fan car, the electric fan car, it's got the Goodwood Hill Climb. So there's a number of events as well. There's like a rally event. There's drifting going on. There's the hill climb, which is actually quite like closely contested. Travis was there in his
My
Subaru
mate.
station wagon thing. Yeah, exactly. You were texting him. Obviously, you already know he was there because you guys were just back and forth the whole time. But this, okay, I would say the one thing. I go there because I like internal combustion engines. I like the noise. I like the smell. It's really cool. I like cars. Can't help it. E-cars, when they first turned up, I was like, come on, man, it's not the same. That car that got the hill climb record,
Yeah.
that makes me feel like I'm watching a glitch in the Matrix.
Really?
Not much impresses you to the point where it doesn't feel real. It feels like, all right, maybe this is made up. Someone's having a go. It doesn't look right. The thing is sucked to the floor that hard, and it's dumping that much power into the ground. It goes so fast. It's like and it's the size of a noddy car.
Single seater.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
But it's the wheelbase is tiny. It's literally a noddy car.
Whoa.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah. So I remember seeing it maybe last year or the year
Yeah.
before. I remember we spoke about it.
Mind blowing. I wonder what happens
Did that
when
win
it
then?
crashes.
Did that win the event?
I didn't hang around. I'll be honest. I
Probably.
didn't get to see the actual event. I did good laps, saw lots of friends because there's lots of people. There's like
It feels like the mountain bike community's there.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's what
yeah.
it feels like from
And there's
social
some
media. It's
brands
like
there.
everyone's there.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think just like a lot of people are interested in cars, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you don't, to be honest, you don't have to be to enjoy it as a day out. It's fantastic just being on the grounds.
There
Red
was,
Arrows are there.
Red Arrows. Oh, they came past my house the other day.
Did they? Probably on their way.
Yeah, right. Saturday, yeah, maybe.
Definite.
Yeah,
I didn't think about where they came from.
yeah. They came past our village.
They're
It's
on
quite
their way
cool.
over.
Yeah.
How long would that take? Probably 20 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, no, yeah, maybe. So sick. What was I going to say then? I was
I
going to
love
say
the Red
something.
Arrows.
Yeah.
I like-
There was a Red Bull video that they posted of this taking a Formula One car up the hill climb.
Yeah.
It looks so out of control.
Yeah.
Like,
It's made for Formula One track,
yeah, and it's just like, and it's just out of control, and the guy's like, and then nothing, and then it's well cool.
What was there? There was a crash. I get no joy
The
out
new
of seeing
Lotus.
this. New Lotus crash. I don't know how much money that crash cost,
I saw that.
but imagine the feeling. It was like straight off the start line. No one even got to see how quick that thing could go, and it just was it electric?
Yes, was
I just
electric.
saw the
4
video. I
motors,
wasn't there.
4 electric motors. I remember that, hearing that on the commentary, and then it just.
What's that driver been paid to do that? And then he's got to just be like, there's a moment where you crash into the barrier, and then you just have to just get out of the car. Have you? I mean, I
it's not
guess
his
a lot
fault.
of people have had accidents on the road that listen to this podcast. Like, I think there's a feeling afterwards where What's the feeling for you? What would you liken it to?
God.
It doesn't happen often in life, does it? That
No,
feeling.
it doesn't.
That feeling
I'm
of just
trying to
like,
think of it. It's like disappoint. I think I'm more worried about whenever I've had anything like that. Like, oh, I've got to sort this out.
Yeah.
At least if it's a race car, you're probably just like, see ya. See you next year, guys.
Anyhow.
Hopefully you improve it. But yeah, when you have like your own vehicle and it gets smashed and you're just like, oh, I've got to sort this out. I got to call the thing, do the thing. Insurance is going to scam you. I wonder if like those race cars are insured.
Have to be.
I wonder if they call like Direct Line, like, yeah, that Lotus.
Lacquer.
Yeah, call Lacquer. Yeah, that Lotus.
It's spun out the start
Gonna
gate.
have to put a claim in, I'm afraid.
Sorry about that. It's spun out the start gate.
Yeah. Can you
Imagine
send
how
some
much it
photos,
was.
please, and we can assess the damage. Start line behind it.
Oh, especially in an electric car, like there's not even like an engine going or like a fire or anything to distract anyone. It's just like
I know.
silence and then you getting out of the car all guilty in your silly suit with your pointy shoes. Oh no.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, dude. No doubt if you smash the race car up. Hey, the weird feeling, not to go over it again, but we gotta share it. So I ended up getting Travis Pastrana's phone number. And big shout out to Travis because that's probably the most nervous I've been since ever.
Yeah.
Getting his number.
Did you draft the message a few times?
Can you
Did
imagine
you?
how many times I drafted that message?
What up, TP? Oh no,
Oh,
TP.
too much. Yeah.
TP.
Hey, Trav. Not nickname.
Travy baby. Oh no, that sucks.
Hey,
That's-
199.
Yeah.
I did them all.
Wagwan 199.
I tried a lot. But hey, I shot him a message.
How did it go in the end?
Expecting to never hear anything back and just get how did he get my number or something? But no, mate, dude was lovely. He came back with a message. Couldn't come and do the pod.
Can you read the message
What, that I sent?
in your voice and how you feel it came across? Yeah.
That I sent?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cringe.
Please, can you? No, because I think this is cool.
It's so cool. And big shout out to the guy who knows who he is anyway for sending the number. He sent the number and I'm like, there's no way I'm messaging Travis Pastrana out of the blue. Are you mental?
And then what did you go to
And
bed
then
and then you were like, oh, I've got to do it.
No, I gave it like 5 minutes and I was like, of course I'm messaging Travis Pastrana.
Did you give him a picture? Did you have any emojis? Can I ask you before?
Yeah, there's one emoji on there.
One emoji?
Yeah, you ready?
Okay. Yeah, ready.
What's up, Travis?
I like it. I
There's
think
an American feel to it.
Yeah, exactly. You've played to your audience there. Good on you.
Okay, and then I went with, I really hope you don't mind, but X shared your number when he noticed you were in the UK.
There you go. That's fine.
Context.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not just a creep. It is
Yeah.
a creep, but not just any creep.
Yeah, it's not any creep. There is context. I think that's very important. I do think that's very important. I do. You have the context.
Do you want more
is very
context?
important. Yeah. What's next?
Okay, more context. Okay, we're gonna try and validate the what we're asking for. Along with my co-host and professional mountain biker Ollie Wilkins.
Did you put this?
Yeah, record a podcast not too far from Goodwood, about 30 minutes away, I think.
Yeah, nice. So that's like, don't worry about it. It's not a big ask. This would be
he's
easy.
probably seen your stuff online.
It'd go in and out.
He's like, oh, Ollie, yeah,
I think he was probably
jet
like
ski bike.
literally no idea who that bloke is. I mean, he definitely was.
Next bit, okay.
You could have stuck anyone in there, dude. You should have just been like Loet Bruni. Why are you using my name? It sucks. That's not like. I mean, in fact, I want to apologise
You have to speak French for the whole episode.
I want to apologise that I messed this expertly crafted. Okay, be honest now.
Next.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Did you use ChatGPT for
No.
this? Okay,
promise,
good.
promise you didn't. This is all me. Okay. We'd love to have you as a guest if you're sticking around in the UK after the event. If not, then no problem. We just had to reach out and ask.
Mate, I think that's a round of applause for that. That
carries
message
on.
is nice. Oh, okay.
It carries on.
Hold your horses.
I've been a fan since no, it doesn't say that. It says, if you need any examples of what we do, then the show is called The Ride Companion on all things. Cheers. And again, apologies for the out of the blue message. That emoji.
That emoji.
Yeah.
So talk me through that emoji. What made you do that one?
I heard he likes it.
Why did you do the aubergine after it? You didn't. That was a joke.
There you go. So
Yeah.
that's what we got. And we got back all good. Would love to go
So
on,
cool.
but we are pinned this weekend and then heading out bright and early Monday morning.
Mate, you should see the poor bloke.
Oh,
It is just full on the whole. I mean, you can imagine, full on the whole time. It's insane.
Hey,
And
we've got a
it's-
foot in the door for next year, I reckon.
yeah.
Early flight next year, day before.
How's it going to go? Talk me through the next text. Hey Trav.
What, next year's?
Hey Trav. Only me.
Me again.
Loic and I.
It's been 364 messages since the last one. And he's like, every day, dude.
Move on to voice notes. Proper baby reindeer.
No,
Only me.
video messages. Hey, mate, just walking the dog. What are you up to?
Mate, who would be the worst person for? This is cool because I feel like we've had this conversation and you've been like, Travis is.
Yeah, it's a dream
This
guest.
is
Like,
dream
if he
guest,
just said
yeah.
yes, I'd have been like, oh, mate, sorry, I'm busy anyway.
Yeah,
Can't do it. It's too much.
it's too much. Isn't
Nah,
it? It could be
I know.
too much.
Could be too much. Sorry, what was your question?
can't
Dream
remember.
guest. Oh, that's like, dude, that was so up there. I really tried for that one as well, to be honest. Like, I was trying to get his number. I spoke to his manager. Like, I was like, really
Yeah.
hustling to get his number. It'd just be cool, wouldn't it? I think it'd be all right, actually. Genuinely, I think it'd be okay. Yes, you're nervous. Yes, there's a lot.
He's a
Yes,
guy's
people are
guy.
wondering where that PK episode is.
Travis is. Travis is the man, though. You can tell he'd be cool when you're on there.
Yeah,
I
he'd be
wouldn't know
fine.
where to start though. The career is so. You'd need like a 4-part series to cover the career.
You have to page it. Yeah, definitely, dude. It'd be a lot, but I think my angle, like from if we had like an hour, would be literally the business of Nitro Circus because it's fascinating. How
Would
he's
it? Yeah,
taken
so that's the
that
bit that-
video project to becoming a worldwide tour that's now owned by One Entertainment or Dana White, basically. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So that'd be what I'd be more interested to hear about.
I've listened to podcasts with him before.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would have to like. I can't remember who had him on. Jace had him on.
Jace had him on,
didn't
yeah, early as well.
he? Yeah.
But they're boys, so it's like...
You'd want to like pick things that haven't been covered, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I think the business aspect is really interesting.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool to hear about turning, a video project that we all used to die for to get the latest Nitro Circus DVD
Yeah.
to now being a world tour that's got all these athletes and like that's,
Oh, it's mega, isn't it? You can just
Yeah.
go any which direction you want.
and he'd be like so good to talk about the future of action sports. Like, where is all this going? I've got my own like ideas of where it's all going. It seems to be getting a lot bigger, especially when you've got people like that involved.
Yeah.
But we don't want to become slap league, which is ridiculous. So let's not do
Slap
that.
league.
Do
I
you
don't
wanna-
understand
do you wanna have a game
that.
now?
That really seems to be
For the views.
cracking on, the slap league thing, doesn't it? How's it still going? It seems like it only really goes one way.
CTA.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing that it's a real thing.
It's just insane.
People
I mean,
slapping each other in the face.
yeah.
You got to be pretty bored to watch that, eh?
Yeah,
I would have to be.
Apparently,
but then-
though, I've never really seen even the Insta clips. Probably will get some now, but like, apparently they're quite addictive.
What, watching people slap each other?
Yeah, like that's the whole business model, right? It's like social media.
What's
isn't
on
it?
your Explore page? If you looked at your Explore page.
Blokes.
What? Bodybuilders?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, is it?
Yeah. Should we do it? And
I'm
then
not much-
We'll put a screenshot up.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
much of
yeah.
an
What are we doing?
Dude, I don't know if I could. If it comes in bad.
If I do, I'll not do the ride companion. I'll do my own personal one.
Okay.
Oh, it's so... God. It's terrible.
Mate,
Yep.
You can't tell what I'm into.
There you go. Screenshot taken. We've got... We've got a lot of pectoral muscles. We've got someone riding a motocross bike. It's me all over at the moment. It's pretty accurate. What you got?
Mine doesn't know me.
It does.
Mine-
It does.
It doesn't because I don't use the Explore
Okay.
page.
Okay.
So I don't think it knows me. It's not
Okay.
very good.
All right.
Yeah, I can't even really summarise it. There's a lot more bikes than I thought, but then it doesn't take a genius, does it, to work out that I'm something to do with bikes if it's all I'm posting. I wonder if it takes into consideration what you post. If you just posted avocados, whether you get avocado content
Maybe. Avocado content.
without
Should be.
consuming avocado content, you can consume avocados.
Yeah.
If you just posted them, I wonder if that has anything. Hey, I think it's
Hey,
about time that we move into the
Speaking
episode
about
because-
winning World Cups.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Great catch up though. Appreciate it. Hey,
yeah, I've enjoyed
before we
it.
get into this episode though, please, if you are enjoying the show recently, or if you're new, please hit a like, hit a subscribe, throw some love to the comment section, and
Put a spring in our step.
And should we just go to a quick ad break, then get into the beak episode?
Mate, let's do that. I really enjoyed this episode.
Can you do it down the barrel?
Yeah, it was a good catch up for me as well, because I haven't seen Bernard in a long time. So,
no.
So
Cool.
it went quick.
Nice. I'm excited. Can't wait.
Let's go to the ad break. This episode is brought to you by Invisiframe. Now, I've just finished up building my new bike, and the very first thing I did was get my Invisiframe PPF ordered and fitted. In fact, I was terrified to even touch my jet ski custom Focus without it, I'll be honest. Now it's done, I'm happy hurtling down the rockiest of tracks without a care in the world, as I know my pride and joy is protected. The cool thing about Invisiframe is you can't tell. The kits are made to measure and you can't see it even has one on. In the meantime, it's protecting my two-wheeled investment, and I have the peace of mind that it will be worth more should I ever come to sell it. I mean, I don't think I will, but yeah. How do I get a kit, I hear you ask? Well, I simply visited invisiframe.co.uk and searched for my bike and model. I had a kit shipped to my door days later. Not only that, I have a secret code which gave me a 15% discount. And I'm willing to share it with companionship members because I'm a really, really nice guy. Enter The Ride Companion, all lowercase, at checkout and receive, that's right, 15% off your order. And that goes for more than just frame protection too. Invisiframe make PPF for forks, cranks and loads of other great products to keep your bike looking great. Head to invisiframe.co.uk and The Ride Companion for 15% off your order. Thanks, Invisiframe. Back to the show. Club scene is dead,
man.
And BK's here at The Ride Companion. Welcome back. Round of applause. Thanks for coming. You're in town for not long, eh?
I want to say 1 week. We got here on Monday evening, and we're here until Monday morning when we fly to Whistler.
Very much whirlwinding still. You're deep within the whirlwind season.
Deep within the whirlwind. After Whistler, we get 3.5 weeks off back in Mac in Wales.
Mate, that's nice, dude.
Dude, that is nice. I say we get 3.5 weeks off. The first weekend, I'm actually going to Newcastle to ride motorbikes. But then...
You doing Billy's event?
Yeah.
Are you actually?
Yeah. No, I am doing it. I'm terrified because I've ridden my enduro bike.
Is this an announcement? You're doing?
This probably actually is the announcement.
Oh,
I didn't even
so
think about
good.
that. Yeah, I am doing Billy's head to head. I will be 100% the worst rider there.
Oh, I really want to come and.
You should come.
Watch.
It's in Newcastle.
Hyped for
Red
it.
Bull
Yeah.
got a hotel. You can stay on the floor if you want.
Okay, yeah, dude. I'll take a floor. Not live on air. I'm not sleeping on the floor. I'm well upper class. I take a really nice hotel.
Oh, you should actually come. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, keen.
We're just going straight to whirlwind on the podcast.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've never been in Newcastle properly. Have you?
No, always through. Like
through.
a lot of spots like that, just through.
Geordie Shore, man, it looks epic.
Yeah, but you're going to be there on your moto, going through like big piles of logs and concrete.
The logs
and
is what worries me. They've got a big step up thing over 2 containers. Not worried about that, but the logs. And I've ridden my enduro bike since I got home from New Zealand in March. Once at Hardline.
Yeah,
and that's it. And then I'm going to be able to ride. We land from Whistler on Tuesday before it. So I probably got Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon we have to drive to Newcastle.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this before or after and I really suck, do you know, I think it will be good for the event that it will show how good they are.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay on a motorbike, but how bad I'm going to be in comparison to them. It will be like a cool, what am I trying to say? So it shows how good they are.
Have you ridden with Billy on moto?
On motocross at Tommy, like Eddie's house, yeah. I've ridden at motocross with them, but never enduro with him.
I think he's so
quite
impressive,
insane,
mate,
yeah. And with Johnny, because it's Johnny, Billy. It will be cool how bad I look compared to how good they are.
But there's other mountain bikers doing it, right?
Gazzy B's doing it.
Gazzy B, is Brendan doing it?
I don't know.
I thought
he was, but then
Bren might.
Don't know. You bitched out, Bren, or are you coming?
Ooh.
No, Brendan will be way better at me at preloading of logs and stuff. I reckon I could jump better than Brendan, but he's way better at enduro stuff than me.
Enduro stuff's quite something, isn't it? It's like, well,
it's the weird preload and how they get up over stuff. Yeah,
even just to know that Billy's started with that much trials before even riding enduro.
Yeah,
is says
so impressive.
Yeah, I wonder what the course will be like.
There's a YouTube kind of mini thing on the start of it, and there's
Yeah.
this real good enduro kid, and he's just like hurtling through it, having the biggest crashes, and he's quite good at enduro, I think. So
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Nothing to worry about anyway. You've still got some World Cups to go, eh?
Yeah, I know. That's the only worry. I'm going to be riding pretty smart and just come dead last slowly if I have to.
How many rounds we got left? 3.
2, dude.
2 left.
It's actually quite lame. Yeah, we've got Ludenville. So we come back from Whistler, that 3.5 weeks in Wales, Andorra World Champs, Ludenville World Cup the weekend after, and then we just got St. Anne a few weeks later.
Wow.
So 2 World Cups and World Champs.
Flown by, eh?
Don't have many races all at the start. It's been weird, hey. Real weird season with the breaks and this and that, and well, the huge break now.
Huge break now has got to be nice because you've been on the road for a long time and
5 weeks in Europe when we just got back,
yeah, and racing a lot within those 5 weeks. So like, surely it's going to be really nice to have a bit of time. Not that it's like mellow. You're going to
because it was such a whirlwind out because we had Poland, came back straight back, and I had Hardline test. We had 1 day off, and then I was at Hardline for 10 days for testing in the race. And then the morning after Hardline, we had to get up at 5 a.m. to drive back to Leogang.
Mate, it's weird now because we should actually go through your season, to be honest, because well, now you've moved away. I don't like.
Yeah, don't see much. And I've been away, even if I lived in Surrey, I've been away so
exactly.
much.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of things I've obviously messaged you, but not like. Yeah, you've had a whole season pretty much, eh?
Yeah.
How's it been?
Tough, man. Not good. Tough. Obviously, we had the thing in Rotorua with the pivot coming apart, which wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
And I've still got a sore neck from that at the minute. So
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, real sore neck from that. And then at Fort William in semi-finals, I slid my wheel on the rock, jackknife, and then my wheel broke. But any wheel was breaking. I literally have my forks at 90.
Yeah.
And so it was jackknife there. Hurt my neck a bit again there. Struggled through that, got 14th maybe, which I was real happy with at Fort William. I knew I could have done better.
Yeah.
But I had a huge crash the day before.
So you just feel beat basically from that.
Beat, man. So I got 14th there, and then we went to Poland from there, and I messed up on the last turn. I think I got 15th. I qualified 9th in Poland, feeling good. I think I probably lost. I probably only would have come 7th or 8th if I hadn't messed up the last turn, So solid result.
Yeah.
But didn't messed up there. And then, straight back to Hardline from there.
Yeah.
Felt really good, dude. Loved Hardline. Amazing.
Tasmania, this is.
Oh, no, we're going Wales. We skipped Tassie.
Skip Tassie.
How can you skip Tassie? I thought we'd done a Tassie recap.
Have we done Tassie recap? I don't think we have.
No, do you want to quickly go back to Tassie then?
I want to do the whole thing. I want to do the whole
Tassie
thing.
before Rotorua. Tassie was unreal.
Yeah.
Felt real good. And then I won quali at Tassie in the wet. It was pretty wet for quali.
So Tassie now, we can talk about like the testing as well. So you went out.
Oh yeah,
How does that work? You end up testing a hardline? Because we've got 2 hardline testing stories to tell here.
Yeah, we do.
Haven't we?
Red Bull asked me to do it. I kind of accidentally just fell into it. I
Okay.
kind of talked about that before, and then it was real gnarly when we went to Tassie in, when did we go? February, after I was here, yeah. And dude, I remember standing up on the plane in Tasmania at the airport, and I'd never been to Tasmania, and just looking around and I was like, these people have no idea what I'm about to do. Like, just looking at everyone on the plane, I was like, I'm going to war this week. Like, I knew Tasmania was going to be gnarly. I was like, these people have no idea.
It's
I was
quite
like,
weird.
We're hired in muscle. We're hired in to do a job. And I was like, this is so
So is that
savage.
how it felt? It felt like you were
Real
turning
gnarly
up.
for Tasmania.
What was the team?
It was Chaos Seagrave, Dave McMillan, and myself.
Okay, that's quite a team of bike handlers, that is.
Yeah.
There's some experience in there, isn't
Quite
there?
a savage team, and almost went pretty well. We ticked off most of the features. We looked at a couple of things, and I knew it needed changing. One was a top cliff drop, and I'm glad we did change that because everyone basically just made the knuckle after we made it 1.5 meters. Then we pulled the landing up 1 meter and a bit and back 1 meter and a bit, just added a huge knuckle.
Yeah.
Put the drop down probably 2 feet and forward 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
And we all just made it.
Yeah.
So it's really good we changed that, so we didn't hit it that week. Road gap, I knew it was wrong, but I knew I could make it. The landing was just so flat. Tested that went pretty well. Bent both my pedals, which was...
So when you say tested that, we're whirlwinding through this. What's that like? So were you first to hit the...
First to hit the road gap. Yeah, we just ran it in a bunch of times, really. And...
It's right. It's interesting. I don't think of you as a tester. I think of you as a smart guy. Because there's like
so I will work. I'm only hitting it if I know I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not really testing.
but like growing up and riding around here, you're not the person that comes to mind in terms
but
of just like sending stuff.
I would
like,
hit jumps first at Newlands Corner and stuff when I was
Yeah,
with my
okay,
crew
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But I'm calculated. People are like, oh, he's just an idiot. Just said, no, I always know if I'm going to clear it.
Yeah.
And with the road gap, I was like, right, I know, I don't know, I can just look at it and feel the speed or know the speed. And I was like, I'm going to have to crank for this out these 2 berms. And I normally run things in 2-3 times max. I'll run it in 3 times. That's it. And then I'm going to do it if I know I can do it, or I'm not going to do it if I don't think I can do it. And did that with the road gap and pretty much got it as good as I could have got it. But the landing was too flat. I knew it was too flat. I probably almost shouldn't have done it. And bent both my pedal axles and had a really sore... Oh, my ankle's still sore now, actually. I was trying to remember the other day why my ankle was sore.
that could be it.
It actually is, because I've been having physio on my ankle and Leger. And I was like, why is it sore this year?
Oh, it's because you dropped off some shipping containers in Tasmania, on your mountain bike.
Actually, the landing
that
was
it.
way
We always
too...
went on the mountain bike.
That's
wasn't
so
it?
funny.
Yeah.
This is the revelation now from the physio, Martha. Thanks last week. Is why my ankle was
That's
sore.
what did it. It wasn't putting your wellies on, or it wasn't slipping on the doormat.
Shipping containers.
It was the shipping container. Yeah.
Oh my god,
makes sense.
That is quite funny.
All right, so are you alone at this stage, or it's all 3 of you working it out together?
Kind of. And Chaos wanted to drop it. And like as I'm getting ready, and I'm like zoning in, Chaos like, oh, I'll follow you. And I'm like, I just ignored him. I'm like, no, dude. Like, sorry, I'm trying to get this done, and I want the glory. Like, let's be honest, it's a bit of both. You want to do it. I don't want someone following me the first time. As I'm like clipped in, like track standing, just drop in, hit it. As soon as I hit it and landed perfect, I was like, guys, that is just, no one should do that. Stupid. Again, and like, I mean, do it if you want, but we know it doesn't work now. We know it's too flat. I've proved it's too flat after saying it was too flat. So that was kind of the road gap ticked off and done. And then I think we went down for lunch after that. I think that was the morning. Went down for lunch and decided to go up and look at the last doubles. We'd already decided the last one was too big. It wasn't going to work. You weren't going to have the speed. But there's the one that was called the Creek Gap. And I ran that in twice. And I was like, I'm just not quite sure I've got the speed for this. Like the ground was kind of, it wasn't soft. It was soft compared to concrete, you know, like
Not
super
baked,
solid dirt.
just-
But it wasn't baked,
Yeah.
you know, you could feel. And I was like, I wasn't sure if I was going to clear it. Honestly, I was like, I think I am, but I'm not sure. And the risk for there is too high for me. And I sent someone down the second run in to film it. I was like, can you film this so I can watch it as well? And what do you think? And Affy was there and everyone. I was like, I'm not sure. I told Dave and Chaos, like, I'm going to run this in again. If you guys want to do it now, you can. But just, you know, I'm not doing it, so don't feel pressure to hit it now. And ran it in, wasn't sure. And then before I know it, looked back, and Dave and Chaos just coming down so fast at this jump. And unfortunately, didn't have enough speed for it.
That
And,
makes me feel on edge. Just
yeah,
like,
didn't go well. But yeah, people think I'm this gnarly tester. I'm not. I'm only going to hit it if I know I'm going to clear it. You know, my biggest worry is going too far. Like, if I know I'm going to clear it, I'll hit it. But it's quite hard to judge sometimes if you're going to go too far, especially on these jumps that we've never hit.
yeah,
So,
if I have a nightmare, it's going too far.
Yeah, all my things are worried of going too far. If I'm going to come up short, I can normally bail really good, and I'm going to get an extra 10, 15 feet and roll out. So
It's weird that, isn't it? It is weird that that's like a...
But yes, that was the test, and basically that we ended it there. Like, went wrong. Dave got hurt, and yeah, we flew home a day later or something.
So Dave strikes me as like such a dialed rider.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to him that much what went through his head or why he did it or what. I mean, I've talked to him loads and hung out with him loads, but I guess
his first thing, wasn't it?
Just
It's
thought,
like-
yeah, and it's a sick feeling to be the first to do something. You feel like the man. It is really cool. Like,
Yeah.
and that's kind of who we are as bikers. Like, to be confident on your bike, you are like, yeah, I've got this. So you believe in yourself. But that went pretty wrong, yeah, before the event, which was annoying. But then they changed it all and did some good changes. That was testing. Yeah, and then we had the race, I guess.
So the race week comes up, and then you're like, you've basically ticked everything off. Like, that course is safe to you now. Tasmania course is like...
Yeah, still kind of nervous. That like one cliffy drop thing halfway is pretty savage. Then we had to hit the double. Like Darcy, the guy that built it, hit it first. But yeah, the course is ticked off, and it was an unbelievable course. You would have loved it, dude. Riding that course was so fun. You could like flick, and you had like this highway section.
That tunnel bit looks the best.
It was honestly an amazing track, and it was a hardline track.
Good racetrack?
So good. Yeah, I think a really, really good racetrack. I liked it when it was wet, made it harder.
Yeah.
I rode a goodish quali and won by 3 seconds or something in qualifying.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I feel like it was really... don't know. I've appeared to get better and better in the wet as I've got older, and I know it. And then the more you know you're good in the wet, you're more confident in the wet.
Yeah,
you ride better in the wet, and then you do good in the wet. So yeah, it was an unreal racetrack, and yeah, quali went good. And honestly, I raced bad. Like Jackson dropped in just before us. Heard he'd ripped his knee off or whatever at the top, which was not ideal.
No, I felt
because
bad
it was a drying track.
all
It's
of you.
really hard when the track's damp and
Yeah.
getting drier, and you've got sections where you can really push and sections where you have to ride smart. And the bit he crashed on was super like blind over crest. Sweet rally term there. But yeah, you couldn't really see it. And he just YOLO'd in thinking, hey, I'll just go in quick, it'll be fine. And
What honestly
got
goes
spat.
through your head when you hear someone's come off just before you when you've got like condition?
it sounds bad. I didn't really care. Not I didn't care about him getting hurt. Yeah, it sucks. But I was more worried. I'm so focused on my race run selfishly. I'm more worried about that section of track. Can I go quick there? Can I do good there?
Yeah, so it does affect you. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So then you're thinking, maybe I need to back off through there.
Yeah, and the section where he crashed, I saw him in my race run line next to track, like I'm not fully focused and distracted. And yeah, it really wasn't ideal, if I'm honest. And then the section after him, I was so worried about being slick. When I watched my run back, dude, I'm running at like 80%. It's so frustrating. And I knew I rode that whole run. I'd watched Lou crash in her run twice. So on the section after Jackson, I went really slow. And the section near the bottom where she crashed, I went really slow. And
so that's
yeah,
something
it was
like
I really slowed up, which was annoying, and rode not great at all. And I knew as I got to the road gap at the bottom, the container drop, I was like, I need to go, man. I think I pulled half a second back in the last 18 seconds of track.
So what is it about knowing someone's crashed in something that?
Just it's sketchy. I was like, you got to ride smart here. This is sketchy.
Okay.
Don't push.
So it is actually, you are being smart when you...
Yeah,
when
not like I could have gone way quick. When I watched my run back, like Ronan, amazing. He beat me. He did well. But I was gutted there because I rode at like 85% and get second by 1.8 seconds or whatever the hell it was, 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I knew like he can't have lit the track up to only beat me by that. So I was really gutted to come second. It honestly felt like I lost. It felt like the week was a waste and I lost the week.
Yeah, it's
It
funny.
felt like I lost so bad at that race. I hated it.
I know we haven't like specifically talked about it, but when you talk about your season, I can hear in you're kind of like, it's like an up and down season. Like second at Hardline's pretty good. 10 years ago, you'd probably be pretty stoked with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but Tassie, dude, felt like the worst thing ever. Felt like I lost. Felt like I honestly came dead last. I hated it.
Sorry to hear
Just
it,
because
man.
I knew I didn't ride great to even come second.
The whip was nice, dude.
Yeah.
The whip was really nice.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with the whip. That was good, but
For me to even remember it, the whip was nice.
yeah, on like an 80-foot jump, I never would have dreamt of that as a kid. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. So that was Hardline.
Right.
Weird coming off.
So
that.
we've got Hardline Taz. We've got, if we're going to, let's just do, this is the Hardline section.
Yeah, Hardline. Okay, so we go to Wales.
So we've got Hardline Taz. We've got new track, new sections, therefore, and we've got new features that are all being tested. We've got a crash, and none of the footage is released still, I think, to this to this day.
Yeah.
And then we've changed the track and we've made it work, and then the final broadcast comes out and the track is top to bottom. Why is Wales different? We've got a new track again, we've got a new section, we've got a big feature that's being tested. The footage came out straight away of, again, the crash.
I think because he was okay, maybe. Like Dave got pretty hurt, unfortunately. I don't know if everyone knows injuries. I won't go into that. Dave got pretty hurt. He's fine now. But yeah, Jim somehow bounced and was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Like, I think he hit his head. Well, he obviously hit his head really hard, but I'm pretty sure he remembers everything. I didn't think he knew where he was at the time. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But he was literally on my driveway the next day, just stood eating grapes, hanging out at my house in Wales. Like, he was literally fine.
Yeah.
And I think he knew the age we live in now, social media, it's going to be good for his career. He's going to gain loads of followers, get a load of traction, and throw him into the limelight more than he was already, which is a shit way to do it. You know, you rather would have done something really cool to be thrown into the limelight. But, mate, it's given his career a boost. I hate to say it, and that's how it is. And people love a car crash. Like, you go down the motorway and everyone wants to stare at it. And it went wild for him. Like, fair play. He blew up on social media from it.
I mean, it really was like something that catapulted that. Like, that event doesn't really need much help, but like, it did blow up.
But it blew up. Even just me clearing it blew up, let alone him having the absolutely huge crash. So
It's interesting that. So, like, I think you must have seen a lot of the comments, and I think the comments probably weighed heavily on like the final decision in the post
Red
and
Bull.
stuff.
Red Bull are really good with this. Like, it was Jim. They didn't tell him he could put it out or couldn't put it out. Like, Red Bull are amazing with this. Like, it was fully his choice when it went out.
That's cool. Yeah.
Who did what in what order? There was a huge, I don't want to say strategy, but so many phone calls that went to the social media order of stuff being posted on what day it got posted at what time. There was a huge.
That's good because
so many meetings, and Red Bull are only okay for it to be posted, even us clearing it.
Clarify why that's good.
Because they care.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm getting at, I guess, is like the reason that is good is because you can't have then a fizzy drink company then posting the crash and getting like the first big boost. It's important that
they really care that the riders get the glory off this or what
that's
they deserve
super cool,
for putting their lives at risk for them.
Yeah.
And we'll go through hours of work and late at night with all the riders and Jim, myself, and Matt Jones, because he came along, to make sure everyone's getting their fair slice of the cake, I guess, slice of the pie for the risk they've put out there, and that we're all happy with how the media goes out and how they portray it, so we get what either we deserve or what they think looks good.
I both think that's like really good that they do that, and I also think it's super necessary that they do that. So it's like
it is both, dude. And they've spent all the money on us getting all this coverage, but at the same time they like work with you to really make it super fair, and come across, I guess, how we want it to, more than how they want it to. They'll double check, but they're pretty, like, I'll give it to them. The Red Bull crew and the people that put on Hardline, and Matt and Grace and Clemmy and everyone at Red Bull that do it, put on an amazing amount of effort to make sure we are happy and that it is how we want the event to be seen, I guess, and ridden.
So cool. And cool to hear it from you as well, because I guess you're lining up on that morning at the top of the giant Evel Knievel ramp.
Literally, it's terrifying, dude. Yeah, going for that testing, because we'd walked it the day before. You are like, do you know what was worse actually? Back to Tassie, when we walked out, we all struggled to sleep because of the double the night before. Like, really struggled to sleep. Like, this is really scary. And like, woke up early and were pretty worried about it. Whereas in Wales, don't know. I went to bed pretty cruisy, pretty not really worried about it.
I think it's because you're in your own bed, you think?
Yeah, I don't even think I thought about that I was going to do it the next day, really.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll just go check it out. If we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't.
Had you seen it before then?
No, first time I ever saw it was the day before.
You'd heard about it?
I had a couple photos. G put a photo up that he wasn't supposed to, and you guys shared it. And you had to take that down because G wasn't supposed to be put that up.
Yeah.
So that's where I think he maybe made them mad. And so I'd seen it off that when we were in Poland, maybe, or coming back from.
Yeah.
And then I was a bit worried. And then I went and saw it in real life. I was like, it's not. It was only 70 feet to the knuckle, but it looked like the biggest 70 feet you've ever seen.
Which, that's what's funny, isn't it? Because it's like, actually, you're doing bigger jumps on the track that don't cause as much
worry. Yeah, because there's not 80 foot down canyon in the middle of it. Yeah, exactly. Like Rampage, I guess. It's the exposure and stuff that makes, like Brennan's battleship thing at the top. Literally, a beginner will do that jump if it's in the forest with no cliff
like
each other.
Is
but that's what makes it gnarly.
Like, exposure is an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's like
completely changes it.
Yeah,
completely changes it,
and it changes it to different levels for different people. That's what I've noticed. Like, some people are terrified of,
and some people,
in fact, even Brendan is terrified of exposure.
I'm terrified of heights. I can't go on like a skyscraper and look out the window. I'm scared. Yeah.
So like watching him do that is almost more impressive when you know how sketched out he is by.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
So the exposure is what's dangerous about that jump as you're sat on top of the.
Yeah, kind of. Running. Yeah. So we went up for testing the next day, rode all the top stuff, which was still pretty gnarly and steep, and it was really wet. Which was gnarly. Cruise down to the canyon, so we like, okay, executive decision. We ride all the new top section, then we roll down the old course to the landing of the river gap or whatever it's called. Get there and we're chilling, looking at it for like 2, 3, 5 minutes. Before we know it, G's not come down with us. G was at the other side. And he's like at the top of the running almost. We're like, what is he doing over there? And Matt, one of the main guys, comes over and I'm like, mate, get off the landing. I reckon G might hit this. Like, who knows what G's going to do? G might hit this, you know. The guy's an absolute nutter.
If there's
anyone. But it's like kind of spitting with rain and it's like not a nice day out. And then before we know it, like a couple minutes goes by, G's rolling in, to that rock, hops off that rock, like no one's even done this yet, knows how slippery the run is, hops like the 15-foot rock gap onto the landing, just locks up, dude, and is just like sliding towards a takeoff and somehow stopped. But it was insane that he'd even done that. So yeah, he did that, and then that kind of made us like, oh, we best go look at this, I guess. And then we got some guys, the guy that built the ramp and Matt from Red Bull, to stand on the lip with like a pad, because they're like big rugby boys, and then we start like running it in from the ramp. Because I guess the hardest bit of it was, normally when you run in a jump, you can just run in and pull out the side, run in and pull out the side. You can like go into it with pretty much full speed and test like what you think it's going to feel like. But obviously we couldn't, because we're coming down this Evel Knievel run-in.
I mean, it makes it so much worse.
So much harder to judge.
Yeah,
yeah, because you're going in at a quarter of the speed, a third of the speed.
I also think you end up second guessing yourself more. If you never ever have a full speed run-in, you end up second guessing way more, I think.
Way more. Because we run it in like way more times than I ever would and just crashed into this pad with them, crashed into the pad. And then we went, pushed up to the rock. Did I hop off? I think I hopped off the rock, like from like the track once or twice maybe. Once,
and you're like cooking if you jump off the rock.
We could brake pretty good. They've got this weird like paint they mix with sand and stuff. So we could, it was ripping off the mid bit of like the running, it was ripping off where it hadn't had time to like set properly.
Yeah.
And then I think we spent, after we'd run it in a few months, we spent probably an hour sat on the lip, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We were on the lip for an hour and 40 minutes, I think, total, which is insane to think about a jump for that long.
Would you prefer it this way? Would you prefer it if it was scheduled, like, okay, we're testing this section, or would you prefer it where it feels a little bit more natural?
It kind of was scheduled and natural at once. Like, let's go up, work our way down, see how we go.
Yeah.
And
that's nice, I think, a good way of doing it.
Yeah. But we were on the lip for so long, and they were almost going to call it like, hey, guys, you want to go down?
Yeah.
But then you've got G there. Now he's like chucked his bike. He's not interested in riding it, but he's like kind of there helping. We got Dan Atherton and me, Jim, and Matt's come along. So Matt Jones wasn't even supposed to be there. He was testing his bike at Davi. And I was like, oh, we're going to go over and test the track. Like, he's obviously a Red Bull athlete. He calls them out and they're like, yeah, come along. And I'm like, this is actually really good because he rides way more ramps and wood than me. Like, I never ride wood, ever.
Yeah.
And we were on the takeoff for so long. And I thought for a minute he would do it first. And he's like, nah, not interested. And I was going to call it because I was like, I'm pretty sure. I was on the lip. And I was like, I can do this. I know I can. But what for? Like, why am I going to do it? What am I trying to prove to myself or who?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can do it. But who cares? Like, someone else can hit this first. And then we were on the lip for so long. I don't know why. I was like, fuck, I think I can do this. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hop, dab my brakes, like quick, and then I'll be fine. Like I hop, dab the brakes, and we went through it so many times. I'm getting nervous now talking about this, honestly. And we're sat on the lip like for so long. I was like, we should just go up and have a look at this. And I felt so bad. Like Jenna's sat the other side, and we've got like Jim's sister, and like there must be 10. There's got to be 20 or 30 people on the other side, really, by the time you got medics, diggers, boyfriends, girlfriends, family.
It's all sort of familiar faces. It's quite a nice,
but there's like 20 or 30 people there that have sat there now for an hour and a half while you're there. There's midgies everywhere, like super bad this year because it's wet. And everyone's just staring at you three, and you're kind of like zoned out to it, but you are aware they're there, and they're like, we've been there a while now with the top bit of testing as well. We've probably been there 3 hours, and we haven't really eaten any food now, so we're like, the day's getting on a bit. We need to get this done if we're going to do it, or we need to cool it and get off the hill. But so I push up and I hike up. I'm like, right, I'm going up to do this. Like, I decide always at the bottom if I'm doing it. Like, when I'm pushing up or in the shuttle up, I know whether I'm doing this or not.
Yeah.
So, like, hiked up, get all the way around on the rock. Steph, like the guy that works for the team, like our road manager, just helped carry the bike, and he's not trying to tell me to do it. G is like, mate, you got this. Come on, do it. Like, not to cross him up, but G, I guess G knows. Like, he's confident in my ability as much as I am. I guess like G is, he knows. And I get to the top and I'm like, hit that brake, and then after a while I'm like, I'm not gonna brake. Like, human nature like takes over, and there's this huge gap in the middle, and I know I needed to brake.
So what percentage worry was it? Too far and too less?
It's hard now to say.
Because
I'm always too scared of going too far.
Yeah.
That's my huge worry always. And that was always my worry to start with.
Yeah.
Was going too far. But then I push up, and I'd been for the last hour. I knew I was going to brake. I was going to hop off the rock, quick drag of the brakes and hit it. Like, I just, in my head, I'd worked out the speed and that was it.
Yeah.
I decided, like, I'm sure this is the speed. Got to the top. No, I'm not going to brake. I'm just going to hop and go. Just because there's this huge ravine in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's stupid because I know the speed. I've ridden enough things. I've worked it out now in my head. I visualize it. I'm like, I can see me hitting this. I know I need to brake.
Perspective is very interesting though. And also like the fact that you had to stop before it every time and stop way before it.
Way before it, you're braking.
So then your perspective from the top means more because you're looking into the ravine, doesn't it? Like if you stand on a lip long enough, like that's what I find.
And still on the lip, you couldn't see the ravine. You can see the landing the other side, like easily.
Yeah, like Rampage is weird because stuff becomes doable as you're sort of around it. You spend a week around like a giant cliff, and you're like, do you know what? Actually, like I can see how people's like visions get kind of off a bit because they're around it so much. You just become like...
That looks normal,
Yeah, you first turn up to a cliff and you're like, whoa, and then by the end of it, you're having lunch on it. It's like
chilling, yeah.
So I imagine it's the same with the wood. You know, you're just...
Kind of, yeah. And like, dude, honestly, I got to the top, human nature, and I was like, nah, not going to brake. And before I knew it, I just rolled in, braked all the way and did the hop and didn't brake at all.
Yeah.
And I dealt with the kick pretty well because I think the lip was definitely a little bit kicky. We had an 8 meter radius.
And no flat spot, right? That was
no, there was a flat spot, a huge flat spot.
In the lip? The top of the lip?
No, the lip was just a curve. Which was always my worry, it was just a curve.
Yeah.
But I'm not an expert, I don't know.
No.
Dude, I had no idea. It did look a bit kicky, but I think in perspective or online, it looked way worse than it was because the run-in's so big.
Yeah.
So it made it look wrong.
Do you know, I hate what I just said then even because I became one of the comments.
One of the experts.
Yeah, because you can't do it because
you don't know.
If all of those people are right, then what are you doing dropping in?
Yeah, I must
If all of those people know, then what?
Why am I there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I am paid to be there to be good at judging this and be an expert. Like Red Bull have put trust in me.
And you were giving it a go. So it's not as far off as I think maybe the comments and what the pictures and...
It was just we had too much speed.
Yeah.
You see Matt gets it pretty good and even he went fast. So like I'd drop in, hit it, no brakes. Like I deal with it pretty well, but I go like 2 meters left. I land about 20 foot. I went probably 90 feet or something.
Yeah, 2 meters left. Was that solely wind or was there an element of like squirm
wind.
on the takeoff?
Zero wind.
So it was all squirm.
That was full squashing squirm going way too fast. That was just going purely too quick.
Yeah.
And then dealing with it. And you see in the air, I correct my front if you watch
Insta 360
3 times.
Really terrifying. Yeah.
And like, I don't get stiff in the air much. And I think I was probably like 10 or 11 inches from the edge of the landing.
Yeah.
And we'd never even considered going off the left.
Yeah.
I was worried about hitting the rocks on the bank on the right if I went too far.
Yeah.
Like 30 foot right of where I actually landed.
God,
dude, like we were so far off. But yeah, I went 20 feet too far maybe. And so we phoned, like after I got off the initial shot, got on the phone straight away. Whose phone was I on? Matt Bowles, the Red Bull guy. And we phoned, G was at the top. We phoned G, I think. So he stood up there with Matt and Jim. And I was like, whatever you do, I was like, we don't need to hit it. I was like, you boys don't need to hit it. We know the lip's now wrong and it's too much speed. I was like, there's no need to hit this. And but if you do, you have to brake. Make sure you give it a good... You're not going to land in the middle. Just one good drag of the brake. You're probably still going to go a little bit deep, but you will be fine. 5 minutes goes by. Like I went through that probably 5-minute phone call. And then Matt's like, yeah, I've got it. He's good at ramps, dude. He's such a good rider. He's so good at jumps. And he's incredible. And let's be honest. Drops in. He's skidded on the takeoff when you watch his clip. Like full lock up. Hits it pretty good. Still goes a little bit deep. But dialed, dude. And then Jim's just up there. And he said he was worried. Like, if they hit it, I want to hit this, dude. It's a sick feeling. You're one of the first guys. And I actually don't know if he did brake or if he forgot to brake. I think from what I saw,
he looked so quick.
I think human nature took over with him.
Yeah.
People say they heard him brake. I didn't. I don't think he did. I think human nature took over. He hit it and was like, nah, it's huge. I'm not braking. And just compresses at the bottom and doesn't really like get up from his compression, you know? And it's just compressed still in the takeoff because it's like down kink, flat, and then up. And I think, and just gets ejected, which was honestly terrifying. But somehow, guys made a steal and he was fine. So... yeah, did that. Like I say, that was an 8 meter radius we had with the ramp. And the next day they were going all through like the night and the day. And they made it a 12 meter radius and they made the gap about 2 foot shorter. So if any fans went or Deaconator went on the lip and so it's not there, but it was about 2 feet shorter than when we hit it. And it was a 12 meter radius, not an 8. So with a flat spot from the second half of the lip.
Yeah.
So it would have been absolutely fine.
And it will be in realistically next year.
The whole thing Red Bull wanted was our judgment, our this, our that. And as soon as we'd hit it, we said, a lot of mud coming in, a lot of rocks, we need a net. And they were like, yep, we completely agree. we've been trying to get one, and the ramp itself was put back 4 weeks due to planning permission. It was supposed to be finished 4 weeks earlier and tested by us 4 weeks earlier, and we could have had all this stuff done. And there was supposed to be a net going in if you got a flat tire, if your derailleur went in your wheel, like anything, you know. So it still is this insanely cool jump. There's like a big safety camera net you couldn't see, and the sides of the ramp even got camered after. It looked amazingly cool and almost made it look bigger when it was camered. Honestly, It looked rad, but they just couldn't get the net made in time, which was supposed to have an anchor point every 3 meters, and the net was going to be up to 120 feet long to actually go where it needed to go and hold the weight of a rider if we fell. So the reason it got pulled was just the net couldn't get made in time. Just a pure safety net, like the feature itself and the new run in. But yeah,
it'd come under a fair bit of like
negativity online.
Yeah, I mean, it had. I was just going to say that so many eyes had seen it by that point that I guess it becomes more important to get it right.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was right. They changed it and rebuilt it a day later. Like it has changed. But like
the importance, it feels like a heavier situation, doesn't it? It feels like
if something had gone wrong, it would have been awful for us, the TV, the this, the that. And we were like, you know what? The other track, we've got the top new minute, which was insane, as you saw from the race. It was an amazing bit of track. We don't need this feature. It would be nice, but we can have it next year.
Yeah.
You know? And then think next year, dude. Red Bull Hardline's back and the River Gap is back.
Man.
Imagine the excitement. It's going to be insane. I'm excited talking about it now. Next year, we're going to have the whole new section before it, and the River Gap's going to be back. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it is mega exciting. Right, let's talk about the race after the break. Oh, finally, we get to my favourite ad. I think it is probably my favourite because it's the easiest one.
Yeah, this one's easy, dude. If you've not got one of these and you're a mountain biker, then what are you?
What are you, dude? You're probably not cleaning your bike.
No.
You're certainly not. I didn't clean my bike before I got one.
I'm also quite guilty of it, to be honest with you.
I didn't even have an outside tap before I got
a
WORX Hydro Shot. That's right, we're talking about the WORX Hydro Shot.
Yes.
I use it every single ride.
Yep, same, mate. I'm with you almost every single ride. I'm going to say almost because that's the sort of guy I am. But I do try, and I still keep my bikes in the house, so I do have to make sure she's clean because she comes in the house, you know?
Yeah, there you go. But it is so easy because you've got the power share system.
Yep.
Obviously, that's the battery that comes out of, personally, my leaf blower, my impact driver, my chainsaw.
Okay.
I can carry on.
I can carry on too.
Please,
we're doing house renovations at the moment, as you know, and I've got a few WORX tools in there. So I've been using a grinder, strimmer, done the garden recently.
Nice.
Impact driver, got one of those.
Lovely, yeah.
The tire inflator.
Oh, I need to get one of them.
That's really sick. Hoover.
The Hoover's brilliant.
And all of it works off one battery.
It does.
It's a dream.
How good is that?
Yeah,
right,
really clever.
So there's the difference between when I first cleaned my bike with a Hydro Shot. Mm-hmm. We're on to the 56 bar version, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, mate. They've added some extra power. But it's not too much power.
No.
Which is nice.
It's absolutely perfect. This sounds like just something that you say in the adverts, and I bear in mind this is the adverts, but it is absolutely the perfect amount of pressure for a bike.
Totally.
Don't blow out your bearings.
Not going to blow out your bearings, exactly.
Right, shall I read some information about it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so unlike conventional pressure washers with bulky body unit, mains connection, and garden hose attached to the tap, the new WORX Nitro High Flow Hydro Shot, so that's the difference. It's the WORX Nitro High Flow Hydro Shot, runs on batteries. It draws water from any source. So you can do it from a river in Wales when you're after the bike park. You can do it from wherever.
Yep.
You can do it. Bucket, pools,
bottle,
lakes, even seawater.
Bath.
It's ideal for cleaning around the house and patio.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about bikes. I did just auto cue that and just read what it said.
But it's, again, it doesn't have to be used for your bikes.
That's
the cool thing. We use it around the house and outside the house, you know?
And I do regularly.
Yes.
Equipped with WORX built brushless motor 2.0, this high pressure washer delivers excellent performance on powerful cleaning with a 220 litres an hour flow rate. That's a lot.
She's flowing.
Designed compact and portable at only 1.5 kilograms. You can take anywhere you need. It's got a 5-in-1 nozzle, actually also very useful.
Yes, sometimes you want it on the pinpoint.
Exactly.
Clean the patio or something like that. Sometimes you want it a little bit wider. Maybe you're watering the flower beds or something like that.
Absolutely. This goes through all the other applications.
But we know them, dude. We can move on. We know them. And if you don't know them, head to uk.worx.com.
Yeah.
And if you enter the code The Ride Companion,
is that
you're going to get... It is caps.
It's all caps, just the Ride Companion.
Yeah, just the Ride Companion. That's going to knock you 10% off
Amazing. That's just on
know what?
uk.works.com.
Let's do 15% off.
Are you that powerful?
Yeah, we'll speak to him.
You're a podcast.
Yeah, well, let's just do
master.
it for 2 weeks. 15% off. 2 weeks.
15% off.
2 weeks, 15% off.
uk.works.com with the code The Ride Companion, all capitals.
And it's across the whole range except the robot lawnmower. But everything else. So you could build out your garage a little bit, man. Get yourself a hydro shot, get yourself a drill, grinder, strimmer, all kinds of things.
Sometimes when I feel lost in life, I actually just go on the WORX website because I can't believe they've got that many products.
So many.
If I'm struggling for jobs to do, I'll go on the WORX website and it will actually lead me to the light. I'll find a job to do. They've got so many tools. It's insane.
Tool for everything.
Get yourself to uk.works.com with the code The Ride Companion for 15% off for 2 weeks. I can't believe Davey's doing this, but he's doing it. He's pulling the trigger.
Yep.
Not literally, because we don't want to get the studio wet.
Okay.
Thanks, WORX.
Thanks, WORX.
Right, we're back from the break. What an ad break it was.
Great ad break.
Thanks. I wanted you to say it. Right, so Racing Tasmania versus Racing Red Bull Hardline. I'm going to say versus Wales. I'm going to say your race run in Wales that's the top of the BK race one was some of the craziest I've seen you ride. That is literally like I never see you ride that charged up.
I was hyped on it, dude. Like, practice was good. Practice was slick. It started off wet. Practice was slick all week. And I don't know why I've got so confident or good in the wet. And Warner texted me the night before, 2 nights before, and he was like, dude, you have got this. He's like, you hit the drop, like the top cliff drop, twice as quick as anyone. I hit that in the wet the same speed I did in the dry, which is annoying because, in the wet, I know I've got an advantage mentally, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was like, if this thing stays wet, dude, I've got it wrapped up. Like last year before it got cancelled, I've never been more confident for a race in my life. And I knew in the damp, I felt amazing, felt really good going into the race, but I knew as it got drier, it was one like dry line just pinned, and it's still hard line, but it does become easy, you can just pin one line.
Easier hard line.
But at the top, I was charging. If you watch it back closely, you can see I break up for 2 bits because I'd blown a clip before where the old start was, last practice run, hit it quick, a little bit too quick, and blew my feet out the clips, just blew a foot out, and was like, geez, I can't hit it like that in the race. And then the next bit through the first trees, I got sketchy around because I was pushing, but I was a little bit slow into those 2 bits, because when you watch it, how has he lost time on these other 2? I lost a second on the top bit, but it looks like I'm going absolutely mental.
Yeah.
But I think I did ride a lot of it quicker than them, but on 2 bits I was really slow.
Right.
On 2 vital bits I was slow that you don't really see. But the rest of it, I was an absolute man possessed. I guess I wanted it, dude. I wanted it so, so bad. I was gutted last year when it got cancelled, and I wanted it so bad.
I love Hardline for multiple reasons, but I always notice about Hardline is you go through the lineup, and obviously there's differing levels of importance to the race or to the as an event.
Yeah.
So you see people a lot of riders are riding it sort of semi-defensively. It's like, yes, I got down Hardline, and then at some point in that lineup, it changes, and you've got drops that people are checking up for, rolling in, making sure they're good. Then you've got people pumping down them and generating speed.
Yeah.
And the Wanfer, I think, or was it Sebastian? I can't remember.
Wanfer.
They
insane.
You started seeing the top of Hardline being treated like a pump track.
Like the chute, he's coming over the top and pressing down the chute so he can go off the net.
Insane.
So good.
What's that top section like?
It's first time you rode it, dude, you were crawling. Even as good downhillers and good at taking stuff, we were crawling over the top to be like, okay, am I good? Yeah. And it's crazy, okay, it was wetter then, but how quick we were doing it in the race compared to before. It was mental. If you saw that in real life, I wish they could get the fans higher up to see that in real life, because that is... Even when I watched a few of the guys that came maybe 10th go down it was impressive in practice to see how quick. When you watch it doesn't feel that quick when you ride it. When you watch it, you're like, oh my God, they are flying down this. It's so steep. It's a cliff.
Yeah. So on a World Cup track, would that be a section that you would worry about?
Yeah, dude. Half the people would have huge crashes down at World Cups, Half the field would be lost in practice.
So that's interesting, isn't it? Because it does come across Hardline, absolutely. And particularly all of the riders build up footage. I think it's really, really good because you actually get to see behind the scenes of an event like that is so valuable.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
But like on the final thing, you don't get to see how crazy that. Like,
no, dude, it's crazy. Yeah, and race run speed, we're
cool to hear.
YOLOing down the top, dude.
Yeah.
Like I knew we had to go all in at the top.
Yeah, yeah. And then you kind of after that, by now, is it almost a bit autopilot-y?
Kind of, but then I know it's like sketchy down that next, but when you do that drop and you got that left, like where do you break down that straight? It's a real hard one because you could probably YOLO that left, the one that you see all the clips of everyone shrouping.
Oh, yeah.
Or do you check up a bit more? And I think I checked up a tiny bit too much today in hindsight, but overall, dude, yeah, autopilot-ish. I knew I had to sprint through the on-off, and if you see that, I'm like, going for it, dude. And I charged the whole way down. Like, I was so happy with my run.
Yeah.
And I was honestly stoked. Like, obviously, I want to win, but I was stoked with second there.
Yeah.
I rode amazing. Ronan had won the World Cup the week before. Like, he's on fire this year. He's riding amazing. And I put down the run I wanted to do. I had those 2 slow bits at the top. But I was stoked, dude. I went as hard as I could. I rode as good as I could. Like, I was so happy with my run. I was stoked with second.
Right. So we've got a direct comparison here. We've got Tasmania, where you said you were one of the lowest you've been, and now you've got Wales, where you're absolutely stoked with
Like,
second.
buzzing
What's the
with-
difference?
Because I rode good. I rode, honestly, like, okay, Ronan won Tassie. He was the quickest guy there, but I don't think he did a great run, in my opinion. Only my opinion. He could have even gone way faster there. He beat me by 1 point something seconds. And I rode, honestly, like I was half asleep for most of it. Got to the row gap, charged, and pulled half a second back on him in the last jumps, you know? Like, I felt like I rode 85% there because I was like, didn't want to crash. Whereas Hardline, dude, I charged, I put it on the line. I rode great for me. Like, I felt like I rode great. I was super proud of my run, dude. I did amazing. And I just got beaten fair and square. I got beaten by Ronan. He rode way better than me. And he smoked me. Fair play to the guy.
Dude,
you know?
that's so
I was
interesting
stoked.
that it's like the difference is so interesting.
I've never been so happy with the second, honestly. I want to win Hardline. I know I can win it. But I couldn't that day. I just got beaten. There's nothing more to it, dude. He beat me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was stoked with how I rode. And I guess, yeah, I was proud of it.
Mate, Hardline's quite something.
Yeah,
isn't
Hardline, dude, it's unreal. Like, where else do you get this? And like, stoked for each other. And Ronan's such a nice guy. And he's young. His career's just coming through now. I'm more at the tail end of mine. So it's unreal, dude. The Red Bull Hardline is an event. What it does for everyone. They take us out on a plane in the week. You have beers with your mates. You ride. It's, yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's an incredible event.
Yeah.
It honestly is how I want to see like racing and like the pinnacle of downhill mountain bike racing going is, for me, Red Bull Hardline.
Mate, that's cool. That's cool to hear. That is.
Yeah, it's sick.
Would you say so? Your focus, what percentage is it? Would you say like World Cup? What percentage would you actually say Hardline?
I would say it's the same. Like, it doesn't take anything away from each other. Like, if you can't focus on those 2
Absolutely,
races
yeah.
and stuff, 7 other, you're struggling. So I'd
Race
say
is
you're
a race.
going as hard as you can. Oh yeah, the focus is 110% of both, if I'm honest. But the Hardline numbers, they're doing numbers, you know, on social media, on my YouTube, on their online viewing. I don't know what World Cups are getting, but a Hardline, I can post a clip from a World Cup, or I can post a clip from Hardline, and Hardline one's going to get 10 times the engagement and views. Like, that is where fans, in my opinion, on my social, fans are way, way more excited about that.
Yeah, interesting. How does the approach? Let's say Poland. I think Poland from the outside, I was like thinking it wasn't going to be that good, and then it was so good. Like from sofa,
Incredible,
like sat on the sofa. What was it like for you?
It was unreal. I said to a lot of people, I think that's my loudest race run ever. Maybe Monson and Rock Garden compares. But dude, for half of Poland track where the fans are busy and through that like dark, loamy wood sec, it was the loudest thing
Was
ever.
it? Yeah.
And it's funny, you're trying to concentrate. You're like, let me race, guys. And they are like,
Quiet, everyone.
absolutely lit up. It was unbelievable. Poland atmosphere, racing in Poland, huge fan. It was incredible racing there, honestly.
Yeah.
The finish was a bit lame because like they'd like fenced it off and I think you had to pace. There wasn't many fans at the finish line, but the rest of the track was, dude, it was amazing. The track had kind of everything. It was one line in the finals. We were kind of all on one line. It dried out more and more. Just stay wet for me. But it was amazing.
It was interesting to see like a new track, how exciting it actually is.
Dude, it was awesome because it rained. It helped a lot. You
That
know?
what it is, yeah.
It was super dry, then it rained,
Yeah.
so really helped. Yeah, we had lines here, lines there. We had loam, we had bike park, we had routes, we had some weird little sections. But
And where'd you go after Poland?
after Poland, we went to Hardline, and we went back out to Leogang.
Leogang, yeah.
Leogang, yeah, which was a weird one because did it start wet? Yeah, I think it started wet and it slowly got drier. Yeah, it slowly got drier. It started really wet, slowly got drier. And we had quite a cool little new same top section, but it rutted good. Then we had completely plain bike park, plain stump section, plain everything. And then a new little wood section. We had one new bit in it, but then because the old bit is so old now from World Champs in 2020 COVID year, it's like the slickest hard pack rock. There's no dirt on 80% of the Leogang track. No, 90% of Leogang track now. There's no dirt. It's just hard packed slick, which is so hard to ride. And then we had some loam, so yeah, Leogang was pretty cool actually. It was like a tricky one to see how much you could push, especially race day, because it had like the gnarliest rainstorm the night before. Like our pits almost collapsed with 2,000 kilos of water on the roof. 2 tons of water, and a power outage for 4 hours the night before the race. So it was kind of cool because that one was tricky to judge, and tricky for race day. Put a really good run together. Was pushing all the way. I knew the last split there for some reason all week. I'd looked at the 2 last turns and the bit out the woods. I was putting a really good split into the finish, and hit the second to last turn, or pretty much the last turn. The little rut too hard, blew my right foot out, and bull rode the whole bike and somehow stayed in the track. But gutted. I knew I was going to pull time in the end. I think I got 8th in Leogang. Yeah, 8th with losing all my speed to the line. So yeah, I threw away a podium there, dude, on the last turn pretty much. So you know your speed's there, so you're hyped, you know you're riding good, but you're not riding good because you've just thrown it away on the last turn. Yeah. Which was, I was gutted at the going to get 8th. That was, pretty shit.
A general speed at World Cups feels quite high.
Yeah, it's quite aggressive these days, yeah. I'm wearing body armour this year. I've got a new Liat chest protector, and I've never ever worn body armour, but I'm like, dude, I'm old now. And the kids are going so fast, dude. So, yeah, speed is aggressive, man. It's really cool how quick we have to go, but it's a lot. So, to get 8th with a huge mistake, you know your speed's there, but dude, I haven't got many years left. To throw away a podium is just like, oh, why have I done this?
Yeah. The Tiger's on the card still, eh? It must feel that way when you have a mistake and then still pull out an 8th. It's got to feel like the Tiger's still
close,
on the cards.
Dude. We're close, but yeah, I don't know that French guy at the minute. We went to Val di Sole from there, and everyone got schooled. Let's be honest, got schooled.
Val di Sole was pretty crazy, wasn't it? Yeah.
Val di Sole was crazy. That was the first World Cup, World Champs, like world race. So I'd qualified for finals 25 races in a row.
So what happened?
Just second run, dude. Just tried an outside line. I'd done the high line first run in the first woods. Pushed up, cruised in, didn't even change gear. Just, I'll cruise in, try the outside line. As I was crossing back across the main line, just slid the front wheel. And as I'm going down, it's like full loam everywhere. There's just a flat rock. And didn't really get my hands out in time. They just come out of my head, just hits this flat rock. And just really rung me as I tried to get up. I couldn't get up. I'm fully like, not dizzy. I don't want to say jelly. I was jelly. I tried to stand up and couldn't get up. And got a concussion, which is, I didn't get knocked out. I remember everything perfectly. But second run, dude, going like 70% speed, just slid out.
Really, 70%?
It's so slow, even when you watch the clip back. And it was a slow speed crash. My one at Fort William was 10 times the size when I broke my wheel, and was fine. But yeah, that one there just knew instantly I wouldn't be able to ride. So I was gutted. It was a super hard week. You saw it was like wet and dry, and then even wetter for the race. And I've done historically pretty good at Val di Sole, so I was gutted I had to sit that one out, which was terrible.
So you've not hit your head an awful lot in your career, have you?
Hit a lot, but never really had any.
Never felt
it, but I've never had that in my life.
Symptoms
where I can't stand up, like you just fall over and can't walk.
Yeah,
like really scary, and then like had a fuzzy head, fuzzy tongue for like 30 seconds, and then couldn't look at a light. Went to hospital, rah. But I felt fine overall. I had a headache for 3 days, but I felt completely normal and could remember everything.
So you had like concussion checks, and then what's the protocol at World Cup?
They did come round, which was good. Rory Cunningham sent someone round my pits to say if Bernard wants to race the next day, we've heard he's had a head knock, he needs to come and do, I don't know, these tests to prove he's okay. But I was not, we're not stupid now, we're all like learning about these things, and I didn't even try. I knew there's no way I was going to do a good performance, and what if I hit my head up again, I could become a vegetable. So decided not to race.
That's really cool. That's like, that shows that the the like system actually does like work, doesn't it? Because
it's cool that I think apparently you can pass the test real easy, especially if they got no baseline. I probably could have turned up to it and maybe passed it anyway, potentially.
you hold your breath or something.
Yeah, or whatever it is. I don't know what the tests were, but they don't know what your baseline is.
Okay.
And a lot of us will fail the tests fine. Like a lot of these
That ain't
tests,
good,
if we
is
did
it?
them right now, well, it's just like a confusing test. And remember 5 words backwards, dude. I can't do that today. So it's a tough one, but at least they sent someone around and said he needed to come past these. So yeah, didn't race Val di Sole, which I was pretty gutted about.
Yeah, that sucks. But I mean, I think it's one of those things, isn't it? It's
You've
like
got to make
probability.
the right choice. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make the right choice. And I mean, like if you're racing at that pace, it's pretty cool to have it in that situation in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, it was cool to have a small crash almost. You don't want to have it at all, but it was cool to have a small one. And generally, it was just my neck was worse than anything, just from like the road to Aurora crash.
Was it? Yeah.
And my neck, I've had a lot of physio, like 5 or 6 sessions since Val di Sole. I took 10 days off riding after the crash and just had physio. My neck's still sore. It's the worst bit is having a sore neck, dude. It's not ideal.
No, that sucks. So then you had time off the bike in quite a busy part of the season, and then you're back.
Yeah, took 10 days off and then started running in Morsey the week before. Just tried to let ease into it. Wasn't really doing any race laps. Tried to do some fast ones, but first 2 or 3 days were real hard to ride because my neck was so sore on right-hand turns.
Really?
Yeah, just real sore on right-handers. But it was pretty fun. We got to hang out with the crew, just do a lot of riding, which was cool. And then, Leger.
What are your thoughts coming into Leger? You love Leger, don't you?
I do really like Leger. I've struggled a little bit lately. I got 12th there last year, which I was gutted, and it was dry and I just didn't push. But I knew we're further along with our new Phoenix prototype bike. We're in the high setting now. We've really dialed that in from Leger last year, where I was struggling with front wheel grip, is that I've dialed the bike in and I'm confident on it now, especially getting Leger. Weird, I thought about it compared to last year. I was like, nah, I'm so much better on the bike. We're way up in pressures. It's so balanced now compared to where we're at. That I was excited for Leger, and we knew all week it looked like rain was coming on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like even on track walk day, that was what we thought was coming. And I was like, I've just got to make it to Saturday.
Yeah.
All I've got to do, because I'm protected through qualifying, but not through semis. I was like, all I've got to do is make it to Saturday, and Saturday's my day. Don't care how I do until Saturday. Saturday's the day to shine.
Wow, I want to... That's so cool coming into a race knowing that you've done loads to the bike. I want to know what you've done to the bike to get it to this point, because I guess for people from the outside, the bike is a prototype, but you're making constant changes in order to create the best race bike you can. So it's like really cool. It's really cool, I think, for fans of the sport to see like a bike go through its development. Like this is not something you necessarily see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there'll be a cool thing when the final production one comes out of loads of people to see this. But I mean, we had it longer to start with. We made it shorter. It was a big change. And then most of the season, we have 2 settings for the height of it. We have a low and a high. And the boys on the Firebird Enduro bike had been running it low originally, and they'd because it was longer than the previous Firebird, they were struggling with front wheel grip. They switched it to the high mode on the Firebird, and then they'd started to put their weight further forward because of having the rear end higher. Got loads of front wheel grip. I think they won and podiumed the next 2 races after flipping the chip on that. And it could be confidence, it could be head, but they'd noticed a problem there, identified, right, I want more front wheel grip. Even if it's good, can we get more? Flipped it to high, weight's gone up, gone forward, and they'd done that. And I'd mentioned I was struggling, and Eddie and Matt were like, hey, try this. You're struggling with this, try this. So at Leger last year, after Leger or at Leger, we changed it. And pressures, trying to get the right sag, because like even if you change it 5 psi, it might change your sag by 1 or 2%. You know, you change it 10 psi and it changes it 6%, whatever it is.
Yeah,
because it like suddenly brings it up more.
And you're kind of talking about geometry then as well.
100% where you're sat on the bike and where you're sat like in it and the angles of it while you're going down the track. So I'd never appreciated enough. I was like, yeah, this bike's unreal. Set it up, off we go. But then through last year, we did do a lot of changes. And I think at the start of the year, we started on 230 psi in the rear shock. And by the end, and what I'm running now is 245, which is a big increase.
Yeah.
And that's actually way more balanced. But that was a long learning procedure through the season, through finding front wheel grip, through finding a good balance. So
what would you say is something that you don't change? So you keep, I guess you would keep some things the same and then
change this first and change it.
Yeah.
You could like keep your fork pressure the same, or your compression, or things like that. We have because we went up too high on my fork and went back down, and we found a good middle ground. Now I'm on 91 psi, I think, with 5 spaces if anyone wants to try it. So we probably kept that the same. And then you changed stuff around it, changed some bar height, I haven't changed too much. We're trying to be better at it now and just experiment. Or, hey, if I'm struggling with this, what about if we take some rebound off or put some on or whatever it is?
And the overall thing that you're trying to achieve the most, would you say is like balance from what you're saying?
Grip, not even a good feel, just
grip.
Just so I feel like, well, I can charge into this or I'm going quicker.
Mate, it's so interesting you say not a good feel, because it's like...
Doesn't need to feel good.
No, it's exactly what like rally cars are like, isn't it? They don't feel...
Dude, if I ride my bike in a bike park as well, it feels terrible unless I'm going quick. It's too stiff. Yeah. Because when you're going so quick in a race run, that's when it needs to feel best.
Yeah.
And as we get through Leger on race day, I'll tell you how much we changed it from practice to race run is crazy.
Is it?
Like, just it's raining and I'm like, nah, let's risk it. Like, well, there's no way when it starts hammering after practice finishes, why am I going to keep 92 psi on my fork?
Yeah.
I'm obviously not going to be going as quick.
So the speeds are slower, the hits are slower.
And we need grip, dude. Have you seen how wet it is out here? Yeah. Let's take some air out this stuff.
Right, so where do you start? Where do you start making a bike rain race ready?
I think we could have gone lower. I normally run 23, I think I was running 23 PSI in the front tyre, 26, 27 in the rear.
23.
So we go to 21 PSI in the front.
Right.
And 25 in the rear.
They sound crazy low.
Yeah, so we dropped the tyres, and then I think Barney took 2 PSI at the fork. We went from 92 that we had gone up to 90. And I think we took 5 PSI out the shock.
So when you're taking like PSIs that small, it's like it's more like thinking, well, the theory behind this is that it gives us more grip, less about like the feel of it.
Yeah, the theory behind it is, well, one, it doesn't need to be this hard anymore. Let's have it more supple and just have you gripping and tracking more, because you're going to be further in the travel, so you should be like tracking, I guess. And don't know, even mentally, I was like, yeah, let's do it, man. Like, I'm not going to go as quick. Look at it out there. Let's give every bit of advantage. Like, I was so happy and confident the night before when it said it was going to rain. Yeah. Even that morning it started raining, and I'm just smiling, dude. I'm like, and everything, I wasn't even thinking. I was like, right, let's do this. We're all in. Yeah. I've got my roll-offs ready. I've got my, like, Liat have this sick little visor extender for the helmet that's made from the factory rather than an old lens, you know? Yeah. All those little things, like, this is sick, dude. We're on. I've got spare gloves just on the chairlift up. You have to sit in this tiny little chairlift. Spare gloves for that. We got these Liat, like, big mud coats, you know, like jet wash coats. Yeah. Got that. I'm like, we are set up and ready for the mud. We've got everything ready the night before. Even that morning, I got Jordan Booker building roll-offs because he's done 1,000 in motocross. I'm like, you're going to be better at this than me? You build the roll-offs. You know, we were ready for it, dude. We were dialed.
So is that what you like about the mud? It's like a checklist of getting ready.
Checklist, get ready. And
knowing that you're prepared.
Yeah, knowing that you're ready. You know, you're not leaving it to chance, and you're not, I don't know, you're just ready for it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it. I think it's so cool hearing all of the changes and stuff. It really, like...
Yeah, it's fun.
I love that about...
We got rental grip covers going on the grips to go up, you know, the motocross ones. Like, it's sick.
So, yeah, I was wondering, I was wondering what your thoughts were on sort of... You don't see many really aggressive changes. Obviously, there's been the lockout thing this year. But front end...
Lockout thing?
There's the whole podium at Fort William had lockout or whatever it is. Not lockout, but, you know.
It's crazy because I think we all know what it is now, and it's even crazier than you think.
Really?
We'll talk about it after the podcast.
Ooh. So all of these advances, what do you think about but you don't see often, like Dakotah's gone outside of the box of what you normally see changes.
Yeah, we hear he's running like 15 PSI less in his fork than everyone. That's why his bars are so high. Okay. So he can run a way, way softer fork with high bars, but then he's not got all his weight on it, you know? Yeah. So otherwise you'd just be sat halfway through your travel.
So the theory is like...
He's running a way softer fork. Is apparently it's his front's tracking, not getting tired arms, I guess. Who knows? Yeah, it seems to be working for him. He's flying.
Yeah. Yeah. When you see something like that, how would you think to react? Because it's got to put
I put my bars up?
Yeah, I know. But
do I put my bars up? This guy's smoking me.
Everyone watching is like, well, he's doing something right.
I think he's riding really good as well. And whatever you need as well is placebo in your head. I don't think if Dakotah went back to low bars and a more normal pressure, if that is true, I think he'd be going really quick too. You know, I think the guy's riding good. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So Leger race run. The bike's all set up. You're stoked with the setup. You're
stoked with the rain.
You've had your jacket on. You've got the rain going. You've got spare gloves. The goggles are loaded.
Because the day before, so quali's easy, whatever. I qualied 21st, like just rode whatever. I was so nervous for the semi-final, the most nervous I've been in so long.
Why?
Because I thought I didn't qualify at Val di Sole. In my head, I've missed a race. I've done 25 straight and I haven't qualified. What if I don't qualify at 2 in a row? When really, obviously, I just pulled out the race because I hurt my head. I was so nervous to qualify for the final. Top 30 is hard, dude. There's so many good guys. The guy that qualified 4th didn't make the final because it's so ridiculous. Now, Danny Hart didn't make the final. I was so nervous, dude, just to put a good run down. And I just couldn't get into it, dude. I rode the qualifying bad. I rode semi-terrible. I'd like start getting my intensity. And I'd be like, oh, don't crash in this right. Hit the brakes and stand up so you ride bad. I hated that day. I hate semi-finals and I don't like them. And I was so nervous. I rode terrible. But I got in 20th. Got through that. Yeah, race day now. We're all ready. We're at the top. And I'm frothing, dude. Went out the gate pretty good. Still in the first grass. So I hung a foot off. I think they missed a lot of my race run because there was a big crash in the run before mine, which is real unfortunate. I seem to keep missing a lot of my race runs on the live TV this year. I think most of mine have been cut real short, which is frustrating. But it's just how it plays out sometimes. And I knew I rode the top way too conservative. I had a foot off like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, what are you doing? Like one bit, I changed the line where Miriam Nicole crashed before the lake. I saw her, like I was watching over my shoulder, someone else in the warm-up part at the top, and I saw her crash on TV. So I changed to an outside rut. Emily, we had so many comms coming up from Emily. Eddie had run up the track to be like, looks good here, just do your line here. Don't do this one, go easy here. And to where the lake was basically, I know I'd ridden too conservative. I was like, this has been too easy, man. You need to get a move on here. Like I'd done one bit before the lake, the bit just before the lake good. But the whole like top quarter before that, or third, I'd ridden so safe and boring. And
What's the feeling of it being safe?
I'd taken my foot off and braked and I was just hanging a foot through bits and not even getting sketchy.
So what we're talking about really in terms of like seconds though is nothing.
I think I was 2 and a bit back at the lake. Like quite a lot on the guy that leading at the time, Greg Menard, 2 and a bit back.
And like when you go 2 and a bit quicker down that section of track, you really can feel it. Like
yeah, well, actually, no, I'd have ridden smoother. Honestly, I rode the top so safe and slow. It was kind of stupid. Like even whatever. And I got through it, got to the lake. I was like, man, you can ride this so much better. And just flipped the switch in my head, and I just started going. And I was like hitting stuff, got sketchy one bit, and then I was just hitting right 2 feet up, and I was like, I was on, dude. I knew I was swinging. And got to that last steep bit, I knew it was going to be super hard. We'd heard people had crashed. I'd practiced in the morning, first practice run, I'd practiced all my wet lines if the rain did come. So I did a lot of different lines my first practice run that day. Second run, in case it didn't rain, I went back to dry lines. So I'd done both that morning. So I'd done the outside before that steep chute that everyone crashed on in the open. So I'd already done it and practiced it. And came round and was like, just do not brake. If you brake, you will crash. I could see what the dirt was like. And just, lit it up amazing. Hit that right-hand rut and the crowd like erupted. I hear them erupt. And I'm like, yes, I am the man. I'm like, dude, you have to think. I'm like, I've hit this so good. And I was like, right, over the next bit, don't go left. I'd seen Bruni go over the stump in practice. I'd done it a few times. Come up to the stump, brake just before it, look over. I'm like, there's another rut. I'm going to hit the rut. Like, I'm just going to go. We'd been going inside a lot of us and gapping out.
So you went rut.
So I was like, just hit the rut again, dude.
Rut banger's going to bang.
It's going to bang. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you don't need a brake. There's a rut race. I'd braked up before it. I was like, nah, just hit it. I was like, this is so important for your exit speed to the finish. And went to the rut and it just faded out. Just lost my front wheel, dude. And I was just on the floor sliding backwards before I knew it. And I was gutted. Even like, I thought about it so much the next day. And last night, I watched the sleeper co-edit, and there's a clip in there, dude, and I hit the top bit, the bit that literally everyone, 5 riders before me, 5 riders after me crash on, or more than that per each side crash on it, and I got through it, and then I crashed on the second to last turn, annoying. Dude, and like I slid through the split like on my back, 0.7 back from Greg, and I'm just like, what in the world? I like watched it probably 15 times last night. It's the first time I really watched it, and I was just like, why? Because it's like, I did Leo Gang and the next racing Peters in Leger, and both of them I've thrown a podium away on the second to last turn.
Yeah.
So you know your speed's there. Obviously that's a different day. A lot of people crash, but my speed was right there, friend. 2 turns from the end.
It's amazing hearing you talk about a race run, because like how many thoughts, like you can recall all of the thoughts you're having.
You can when you're riding badly. So like my whole qualifying and semi-final run, I was so like thinking about everything I was doing, which is terrible, overthinking all of it. And I honestly couldn't really tell you much of the bottom half of my run at Leger.
What do you
I just
think?
knew I was hitting everything good. Knew I hit that good. Thought about the next bit. I guess we're going a lot slower than usual in that mud race. But a lot of
there's
that
a lot
race
more
run, I'm
time
not thinking too much because I am just linking.
Because I
it.
noticed
You're in
you
the zone.
saying, you know, like the point where it goes past the lake. There's like the only section where you can pull a tear off. There's the you know.
So
what
I
mean?
sat
There's
down and did a roll off.
So naturally, like there, you can see why you would think. What are you thinking? Okay, so you can see like why a pause in the track would make you think about like, oh, someone crashed here.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm not picking up the speed. Blah blah. What are you normally thinking about on a banger run? Like, what do you try and think about? So nothing.
You won't
try and
remember
clear-
half of it. You don't try and clear it. You're just cleared. You're just on rails. You're going. You don't remember half of it.
But you have this is a high line. So like I always think that's really
Because we're on a different line at the bottom and you're like focused on it. I think I remember my focus.
okay.
You know, like I don't remember it like dead in. Like you're
No,
so
it's interesting
focused,
to think
yeah.
about, isn't it? Because I would say if I
Like,
was
you know, when I crashed, I wasn't thinking. I'd thought before it, and then I was zoned back in.
yeah.
I wasn't thinking where I crashed. In my mind, like it's almost a blur the crash because I'm literally over the next jump in my mind. I'm so
Yeah,
focused.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on the floor like, what the fuck has just happened? Like, just pretty good not swearing normally. Yeah, I was so focused. I've been like, okay, over here, break up off the stump. No brakes, you got this. And then I'm not thinking. I'm just on the floor, dude. Like, even now, I can't believe that happened. I know so many people crashed, but dude, I haven't got many years of this stuff, and I was so close to. I'm at 8 podiums. We've got to get to 10.
Oh, you got time.
Yeah,
you got time.
We got time.
Hey, as a as someone who's hosting a podcast, you always run the risk of talking about yourself. But I would say usually down a track, if I'm trying to go quick, I'm thinking about the exit of each turn. That's probably just now 100%. I'm thinking about it now. That is probably my.
You want to set up good, exit good.
If you're on a World Cup run, the pace is much higher, and I know it's probably a ridiculous thing to even fucking compare, but like, there's also very complicated lines. Like a lot of the tracks,
Over this route to then go left.
Yeah, and
exit,
there are like line options. Like you guys are the best in the world at finding time. Surely there must be, and you've got rain race. You've got changes to the track that a normal person won't necessarily have to go through if they're riding their local tracks. Like, how do you think that does affect like what you actually think about on track?
It does, and exit speeds where I crashed is the main thing I was thinking about. If I don't brake here, my exit's so important because that's from there basically to the last turn. You've got that whole straight. So you are thinking about line, because when it was raining dry and fast, I was going left of the stump, I went off. So I changed that in my race run to know I was going over the stump to hit the rut, not left and then insiding. Right. So I changed that line like in the race run. It's so slippery, go over the stump. You can afford to be a bit slower here so I can let off the brakes, hit this rut. My exit speed is so dialed. Yeah,
that's so interesting to think about because your brain's doing it. That's done it on the run.
It's doing it on the run, like so quick. Like, you can't even really think it, but it's doing it for you.
Yeah.
And that's 100% why I went to there, and why I didn't brake was for exit speed. I mean, it really didn't work out for me, but that was why. Yeah, you're right. I was purely thinking about exit speed.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, that one, I guess you would, wouldn't you? Because you're coming into the finish line of a World Cup.
It's just the motorway.
And then you're just emptying the tanks, emptying the afterburners on a motorway.
Unfortunately, I had no chain because it came off in the crash. So that really hindered me a bit to the line as well.
Normally
normally
you're just like everything you've got.
Everything you've got. The J's kind of a cool one. You can't really pedal there. Well, I'm good at pedaling now. But yeah, you just tuck and bomb. It's so quick there in the dry it was ridiculous. You're only 15 feet past the landings.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, mate, I love thinking about race runs.
World
it's the coolest thing.
World Cups is unreal. It makes me excited now. Like, I wish I hadn't screwed it up, but we've got 2 to go in World Champ. Dude, I am fired up to be on that podium.
Yeah. As a fan of the sport, it is really exciting, like watching like Amaury put together.
It's exciting by him because he's making us look stupid.
Dude, when you watch it, you must watch and study his race run.
I haven't too much. I need to because Eddie's told me to be better. Watch and study and try and see what he's doing. Why not learn? We've got free video to watch and try and learn what he's doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I need to be better at that. It's on my to-do list is watch race runs. Of people and me.
That was quite some race run, eh?
I haven't really watched it. I left the finish with 4 riders to go because I was too cold. Yeah. Like I was freezing. I've been there for an hour and a half now, whatever, in the rain. So I actually haven't watched it yet, which is kind of crazy. But Eddie said,
watch tonight.
Eddie said his helmet cam from Val di Sole, if you look compared to Dakotah's bars, Dakotah came second at Val di Sole and he's turning everywhere. Amaury's bars apparently don't turn.
Yeah.
He's just leaning. Or like way less because he's going so much quicker. He's just leaning
Interesting.
more, which apparently is the main difference you can see from the helmet cam.
I love talking to you about this stuff because I'm also quite nerdy.
It's
Despite
really
not
cool.
needing to be at all.
It's really fun.
I've always enjoyed like working out why people do stuff and what different techniques there are. It's rad. I've always enjoyed our conversations about that. Yeah. Cool. Well, let's find out what you're up to for the rest of the season after the break.
Ollie, mate, it's the ads. What are you doing?
Well, I didn't think I'd have to stop. It's so quiet.
I know you've been riding a lot and you're really trying to focus on recovery, but you can't always be recovering, can you?
I can if I sponsor this COMPEX and you got the Fix 2.0 and I'm making my legs feel better.
Oh, mate.
Honestly, this thing is incredible. It's been helping me out loads. I've been riding a lot and this thing, I get home and I just use it for recovery. You can use it for before as well though, right?
You can, mate. Yeah, the COMPEX Fix 2.0 Master helps warm up muscles before a workout.
Oh, nice.
And relieve stiffness after a hard session, okay?
That's what I
that's what you're
using it for. Yeah, I've just finished a hard session, so.
Yeah, it has 5. Ollie.
Yeah.
It's my favourite tool as well, all right? The COMPEX Fix 2.0 massager helps warm up muscles before a workout and relieve stiffness after a hard session.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got 5 powerful intensity settings.
Oh, yeah, it has. That's done with this dial here.
That's done with a
it's
dial.
Really good, yeah.
Paired with a high stall force will give the intense pressure needed to help relieve the toughest spots safely and comfortably.
Hey, I want to point out that the stall force thing is really important because when you're pushing down hard, really getting in those difficult points,
nooks and crannies,
it's not stalling. And some of the other ones, I'll be honest,
not
only did I buy them off Amazon, they stalled and then they set my house on fire.
Oh.
So you don't want that.
No, mate, you don't want that at all. It also comes with 5 interchangeable tips.
Yep.
Okay, and a rotating arm helps tailor your massage specific to the needs of different muscle groups. Okay. Yep. It has a removable and rechargeable batteries, a compact design, and a quiet motor help provide relief anywhere and everywhere. Okay, so you can bring your inner pro with the Fix 2.0 massage.
That rhymed.
Gun. It did rhyme.
Just saying that rhymed.
It did rhyme. But yeah, honestly, dude, real life experiences. I use mine all the time. Post-ride, pre-ride. I just love using the COMPEX Fix 2.0.
Do you know what I found the other day? I was at my physio. Everything he had was COMPEX. I really liked that.
Mate, yeah.
It's really good.
Chosen by professionals.
Yeah.
And they do loads of other stuff too. So check out compex.com. All right. You can look through all of the different recovery tools. They've got
muscle stims.
Muscle
I've been using
stims.
the muscle stims.
Yeah, they got the core belt. They got this ankle protection. You need some of that.
Need it.
Wrist protection. Maybe need some of that.
I do now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Loads of stuff.
I'm going to get COMPEXed up, dude.
COMPEXed up.
Hey, do we have anything to offer to our companionship? Because I do like it when we finish ads on an offer.
Yeah, we got to finish on. Hey, it's a big offer too, mate.
Is it?
Yeah. So if you head to compex.com, enter the promo code The Ride Companion.
Okay.
What is it?
The Ride Companion.
All in caps.
Okay, nice. I was about to ask.
We're going to knock off a whopping 20% off.
20%?
20% off. Now, if that's not a deal to get you recovered, ready to ride through spring, then I don't know.
Hey, you
Can't
might
do any better.
You might get 20% off, but you're going to be 100% satisfied with the product, let me tell you.
Oh, and on that note,
that was nice.
Thank you, COMPEX.
Thanks, COMPEX. Right, and we're back. We're back in for what you can only be described as the motorway section of this podcast.
Love it. Ready to go hard at the end.
Yeah, exactly. You've got all the way through the rest of the podcast. You're up at the split. We've got the motorway to go, dude.
Please.
What's going on for the rest of your season? We're a long way through now.
We are. We've got Whistler Crankworx on Monday. We're going to there. Canadian Open next week. Should be sick. Yeah,
Canadian Open. You do very well at Canadian Open historically, don't you?
I've done pretty well. I've never podiumed it. I've had a top 10 at most times.
I thought you podiumed there.
No, I don't.
No, maybe
I was on a heater. I was going to win it the year. I was like my first really good year 2 years ago, and crashed like a minute in, like just leant over and up too much and got tipped over.
Yeah,
I've won slalom at Whistler once or twice. Podiumed it a few times. So slalom I go really good at.
Yeah,
in Whistler. So yeah, I got Canadian Open. It's gonna be insane. Huge stack field for that at Whistler.
Yeah,
which is quite gnarly. My teammate Jacob Jewett won it last year, so
nice.
It's gonna be quite gnarly. Got to try and beat him on his home track.
You've got full team out there.
full teams out there. Yeah, should
amazing.
Be rad.
That's got to be a fun week. Your
it's
team's
a fun week.
dude.
We've got to try and wrangle the team that week so they actually turn up to the races. Is the main thing.
Is there an element of wrangling as team manager?
A little
as well?
bit. We've
Yeah.
got a house there. And
Okay.
there's quite a few people in this huge house.
Yeah.
So I've actually got shout out to Sundial Hotel in Whistler, a suite there as well, so I can escape the madness of the house. So
Nice,
yeah,
man.
Whistler's going to be a time, that's for sure.
Your team looks like a time all year round, and I think Whistler's got to be like a small. There's a nice small break. It's got to be.
It's a small break. We'll have some fun. It's Eddie's 30th there most years.
Eddie Masters is 30.
Yeah, it's probably his 5th 30th there, but what can you do? You know, it's just one of those. So we got Eddie's 30th in Whistler. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a time, to be fair. It's going to be rad.
How would you approach a Whistler week now that you're like, because obviously this is like a good opportunity to kind of make yourself ready for the rest of the season. You often finish hot.
Yeah,
in
normally
seasons
start
anyway.
ramping, exactly. So yeah, I'm going to try, we'll go out a little bit, but I'm going to try and train, be good. Went to the gym yesterday here, got another gym session this week. Try and ride a lot, dude. We didn't go last year, so I'm excited to ride a lot.
So at this point in the season, is bike time very important?
Bike time's important, but race run or like GoPro race runs, I'll try and do like 8 timed runs, and I say call them timed runs, like GoPro runs. So you do like 2 warm-ups, I would do 4 race runs, and then maybe 2 chainless. I call them chainless. We leave the chain on at the end to try and carry speed, which is quite hard to do in Whistler with a big crew like we've got. So we'll see. I'm going to try and do some good ones, but be real concentrated the first week because we land Monday. Practice starts on Thursday for Canadian Open. Race Sunday next week. The second week's going to be a bit more fun, especially when we get back from there. We've got 3.5 weeks to put some gnarly bike time in at Davi and really get some race pace going.
So the home time, the home base.
That is going to be it. We've got a gym now at the warehouse with Primal Strength hooked up the gym, which is awesome at the warehouse in Wales. So that 3.5 week block before Andorra is going to be big training, gym, intervals. I'm like hyped for it, dude. You like get the focus and get in a rhythm.
I'm hyped for you. I really respect the move. I think like when you see it from the outside, how much like the move has created this just like it is just like a speed factory. It's just like
literally
it is so that you can just punch out downhill laps. You've got everything there that you need.
Everything there within 5 minutes as well. The gym is 2 minutes from home. The bike park's 5 minutes from home. Trail riding's there.
Yeah.
And you can be really efficient at doing your work and then enjoy the time in between and rest more rather than driving everywhere. So it's like an efficient, speed factory.
Yeah.
It's the BK Sports Speed Shop.
Is it the BK Sports Speed Shop?
Literally the speed shop is there.
And people visited the other day at Hardline. I thought
they did.
That was
We
really
did an
cool,
open house for the Athens. It was awesome. We're the Athens neighbours, and it was so rad. So thanks so much to everyone that came by. It was really cool for everyone to see it and see where all the work goes down.
How is it having the Athertons as neighbours?
Dude, rad. They are like the nicest family. It's awesome. Effie actually messaged me just as we got in here today saying, "You back?" Sorry, mate, I'm not. I really wish I was, but 2 more weeks and we'll be back up there. But yeah, unreal. Ride with them all the time. Rach is amazing. G's a bit further away, but yeah, always helpful, always ready to ride and push you and help me a lot in this later part of my career for sure, the Athertons.
Yeah, I mean, even just to have their bike park and to know that it's like...
It's incredible. Dude, the place is amazing. It's crazy that we never grew up with anything like this, but feel pretty lucky to have it now.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I think didn't exist, eh?
No, I think a lot of these younger riders out the UK, Felix, Oscar, his brother, they're up there a lot, the Griffiths, and a load of riders go there so much.
Can't not help.
Dude, can't not help.
What does that, out of interest, because obviously like people that listen to this can also go to Davi, what would a standard midweek Davi training session look like for you? Because I assume you do have sort of like, what are these training sessions that you're about to come into?
At the bike park? At the bike park, yeah. I'd probably try and find a track. I would do 2 to 3 warm-up laps, like just kind of roll down, find some lines.
And you'll change that track?
Yeah, I'll change the track. I might do 2 days on one track. I used to when I drive up there for 2 days, but now I kind of just do 1 day on a track. And I'll figure it out. And even like some tracks, like Turns in the Ferns, just before you get out to the open at the top, we changed the line where we go inside by the tree. It was a slower line if you were racing. Doesn't matter. We're here to train and get good at braking points, get good at gathering speed. So we changed the line, right? Every line I've got to do the inside line. It's not a better line, but otherwise I'm doing the same track I know so well.
Mate,
so we'll change a line to make the track different or make it harder.
Yeah.
So every lap I've just got to do this new inside and get
it's
better
like
at that
running
one
drills.
inside line.
It's literally
it's
like
you're
running
running
drills.
drills. Yeah, you're running drills. 100%. So I'll change some lines, build up through the day. I'll even try and have a lunch break and then do 2 really hard runs after. So
Right.
like more like a race day, you've had to stop for 2 hours or an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then when you go back up, you have to go fast on that first run. And then a chainless run at the end. You know, so you'll have to go as quick as you can, but no pedals. You've really got to focus on carrying speed out the turns, which would be cool.
So that's what a chainless run. So break down why is a chainless run so
do you know
important?
what?
Because I agree. I think
don't
it's,
even know. Yeah, I think it's good. And by the time I'm 7 or 8 runs in, I'm like not getting over it, but it's quite gnarly. And you're getting scary how fast you're going. It just freshens the day, and the day's getting long by now. You're pretty tired, so it just really freshens it up. Kind of nice thing doing an excuse to do another race run, but not really have to go quite as hard because there's a lot of sprinting at Davi.
How much do you reckon you can? It's too much of a stupid question. I was just going to say, like on a really short track that doesn't necessarily have like a flat section that requires loads of pedaling. I often think, God, when I do like no pedals, I think I might almost be quicker.
Sometimes, yeah. Or in sections you'll see on your GoPro, you're like, well, I was quicker at the bottom or whatever. So it does change.
Yeah, because I always wonder whether that's your focus, whether it's because you're not.
Yeah,
like your focus is on exit speed rather than.
I think more in a chainless run.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking more about it in
Interesting,
trying to exit and stuff. So
like more tactical.
Yeah, so that's like one training day, and then the other one we do as well is like the sprints with my trainer we have. So like if you do the half man at W, you get dropped, and there's like it takes me about 10 seconds to sprint up it. I'll sprint from the uplift up to the half man and drop straight into the track. So I'll do like 6 of those. That's my phone. I'll do 6 of those like midday, so I'll probably do 2 warm-up runs where I pedal up and just drop in.
So you're trying to like ride with lactic acid.
You're just trying to ride and recover in the run. Mm-hmm. You're trying to go from max breathing to like somehow let's get this back under control and still charge. So they're the other ones. So, but they're really rewarding. If you do 2 or 3 days like that in a week and you ride for just a day on the weekend when then all your mates turn up for fun, it's so rewarding, dude. And you enjoy the day riding, just doing whips and the jumps so much more.
I mean, for me, growing up, hearing like like one of the world's fastest racers, what they do at a bike park that I can go to, that is so cool.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty rad that it's so accessible for everyone to ride with us or us ride with everyone. It is cool, I guess, and sometimes it's gnarly because we'll come around the turn too quick on a public day and you're almost going to have a hugie, but...
Yeah, but I mean, you are racing also down bike parks, so it's really relevant,
so
isn't it?
relevant, the riding now. I reckon at least half our tracks have bike park sections to them.
Yeah.
All of our tracks have bike park sections, berms, this, that, and carrying exit speed, so... It is what it is now, and it's good, man. I love it up there.
Nice. So after that, then you're going. Where are you doing? US Open?
Yeah, we got Ludenville, Andorra, Ludenville, World Champs, World Cup. Back home for 2 weeks after that, and then US Open this year. I think it's going to be an awesome event. So many riders are going. It's the week before St. Anne.
Yeah,
and it's like 3 hours south. And we've rented a Winnebago, like the biggest one you can rent, kind of an old one on this website. And we're going to have a Winnebago and a pickup, and we're just going to camp. Like, the whole team's going. We're going to get a load of PBRs. We're going to camp. It's annoying it's not after the World Cup. We can't just really party all weekend, but
yeah,
we're going to really have fun with it. Go hang out. We love the American crowd. The Americans, like, get so behind the racing. So we're going to go camp in an RV at the US Open.
Oh, that sounds fun. That does sound good, yeah.
It'd be rad.
Actually, Clay's been on the podcast. He organises it, right?
Oh, yeah. He does, yeah. Which would be cool, yeah. Clay Harper, yeah. So, no, it should be rad. I know Wynn's going, a load of people are going. They put big prize money up, and it's always good to race in America, dude. So, yeah, US Open's on.
Hell yeah. And then, so that's not last race of the season, though.
No, week after, Mont St. Anne. Going hot, all-time, full-time. Got 4th there last year. Got just beaten by Lurk for the 3rd place. So, would like to be a bit higher on that podium. A podium St. Anne the last 2 times we've been there, actually. Which is, I honestly love doing well there because it's an iconic track. It makes me feel like a real World Cup racer doing wherever. You know, someone like, oh, it's a new track, it's this, it's that. Andorra, I got a podium there last year, but it's kind of like pretty basic, easy just to hold on track. Whereas St. Anne, man, you feel good about yourself if you do good there.
What is it about St. Anne that makes it feel like
It's a beast, dude. It's a beast of a track. It's like long, it's fast, it's technical, huge. The fans there are unreal as well. Now, shout out to them standing there in the rain last year.
Yeah.
It's just Mont St. Anne, isn't it? It's iconic.
Is it multi-line? Like, what is it that makes
Loads
it?
Loads of lines. And you got gnarly lines. You can gap into the rock garden. You can gap through it. It's just, I don't know, dude. It's cool. And last year, honestly, the colours last year, like as you get older, you appreciate the trees and flowers and things more. The trees and the autumn colours there were unreal last year, dude. It looked amazing. Built a cool track and just love it. I'm a huge fan of St. Anne.
Nice.
Huge fan.
Nice. What else have you got going on? I'm well excited for the end of the season. I actually am. I think it's
Yeah, no, it's cool. What else we got going on? We've got the race van. It's almost done.
the race van. That's what I wanted to ask you about. I wanted to ask you about merch drops and the race van.
Race van, big process, but it's almost there, I'm told. It's taken a bit longer than I'd anticipated, but...
You've actually leaked that there's some like stuff out about the race van, isn't there?
Yeah, I haven't leaked too much. The guy that's building it's done a bit, so hopefully I get to show some of it first soon, which will be rad. And yeah, it's going to be there. Hold on for the race van on my YouTube. That's going to be hopefully epic. I'm not just going to hate it by the time it gets here for how much it's cost and how long it's taken. Hoping to still be really excited when it gets here, so that'll be cool. And then, yeah, just had a merch drop. The summer drop was last week. And I think we're pretty much sold out today. So the shop will be shutting today, 3 or 4 days later, which is pretty cool. So stoked, and thanks so much to everyone that supports that. It is unreal the feedback we get, and I'm humbled to like how many people buy it. Like I know we do some really cool designs. We try and do some real good quality. So hopefully that's why people keep buying it, not just because it says BK Sport on it, but really proud of that. And yeah, family help a lot with that. So that's cool. The next one's going to be September, so just before St. Anne, we're going to do a drop right for the last race of the season. Going to do a cool drop, so that should be rad. But yeah, that's kind of all we've got going on for now.
Hype, dude. Thanks so much for coming in. Miss you over here in these tiny, tiny hills.
Miss you guys.
It's
man.
always
Love
good
it.
to.
I love
It's
coming
always
home.
good to have you back. Yeah, and thanks for fitting us in.
Thanks so much, guys.
Good
My
to be in the
companion.
whirlwind for a short while.
Peace.
Cheers, dog. Like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. All the best.
Mate, what an episode.
Brilliant. I thought you were really great, Davey.
Mate, and I thought you were even better.
Thanks, dude.
Better
Thanks,
than
dude.
normal.
Oh, cheers.
Hey, how about we tell our lovely podcast community to hit subscribe here.
Yeah,
Click on the video on Ollie's face.
that's right.
Click on the video on my face.
Yeah.
And follow us at The Ride Companion on Instagram.
They can like and comment as well.
Please do.
I'm going to try and get this energy and I'm going to bring it into next week.
Let's fast forward to next week's episode.
Done.